Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to KUMBTV's Eyes Up Mother Brown. Here we go again. The game's coming thick and fast at the moment. 2 games a week, 3 games a week, actually. This week, I guess you could say. It's myself and my partner, Noam, good friend Noam, this afternoon, back fresh from a trip to the States. With a bit of a dodgy belly, Noam, I believe.
Fresh isn't quite a word, yeah. I think the good news everybody might want to hear is the fact that I have this morning eaten 2 slices of toast, and they have stayed down. So obviously, normally I'd be at the game, but
exclusive news from KUMB.com.
Normally I'd be at the game, but I really didn't feel up to the journey this morning, I will admit. So the ground's loss is your loss as well. So I suspect so.
Well, we are, of course, running fashionably late as usual, even more fashionably late than usual today. So we're going to get straight into it. Going to bring you the teams, of course. Kick off 12:30 this afternoon. Early one for the Hammers against Chelsea. Noam, how are we lining up this afternoon? Few changes we see in the team.
Indeed there are. I'll just go through the team first. Fabianski, Zuma, Dawson, Diop, Sufal, Souček, Rice, Johnson, Bowen, Lanzini, and Antonio. And on the bench, let me scroll down a little bit. On the bench, we have Yarmolenko, Fornals, Vlasic, Areola, Noble, Benrahma, Masuaku, Kral, and the splendidly named, I think he's got the greatest name in football, Harrison Ashby.
Yes.
Like a service station on the M4.
Yeah.
So Chelsea, I'll just go through their starting 11. I won't go through their subs. Their starting 11 is Mendy, Christensen, Thiago Silva, Rudiger, James, Loftus-Cheek, Jorginho, Alonso, Ziyech, Mount, and Havertz. So there we go. And bear with me one more second. Today's referee is Andre Mariner. So,
oh, not Andre again. Andrew without the W. Back. We haven't had him this season yet, have we? This will be the first time, I think.
I don't know. I haven't really gone. The preview Percy was also on the same trip as me. And
he was.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was a big family outing sort of thing. And so because we weren't going to get back in time, A, for him to write the damn thing, and B, for me to turn it into English. I will admit my research for this game and his research, and Daisy, bless her, was with us, and she didn't do the usual stuff. So I'm a little bit in the dark. I mean, even more in the dark than after I've read preview Percy's usual stuff. So there we go.
Yes. Well, let's. So no preview Percy this week, as you probably would have noticed if you're a regular on KUMB.com. But anyway, you have
and
us
there was
instead.
much rejoicing.
Yes, you have us today instead. Good afternoon to everybody joining us on the live stream. Hope you're all very well. Thank you for the like, whoever's done that already. We haven't even started yet. Might be regretting that in a few minutes. But anyway, changes to West Ham. No, obviously it looks like we've gone to the 3 at the back with Issa Diop coming in. This is of course something people have been calling for in recent weeks, generally as a replacement for Dawson, but he's obviously next to him today. All 3 of them in there. What do you think? That's a good idea?
Yeah, I mean, people calling for it. Obviously not Pinky.
But, no.
No. Yeah, I mean that move is definitely tactical. I mean, if you didn't work that out yourself already, David Moyes was on a few minutes ago, just before we came on air, explaining that. And it's a tactical way of trying to counter and indeed to cause Chelsea a few problems by having a couple of wing backs further up the pitch. Mm-hmm. So I think it's a wise move. I also think that the other changes, Lanzini in for Benrahma is a good one. I think
another one everyone was calling for, really.
Yeah,
especially after Wednesday.
I think it was Fornals is kind of a little unlucky because he does put in a lot of work even when he's not firing, sort of. But I think that the way you're set up with Johnson and Sufal there, I think that what you've got, if you're going to play with that three and then the two wing backs, I think Fornals you've got to sacrifice that further up the pitch, and I think that's what he's done. So
yeah, I actually thought Fornals had a really good opening 45 minutes on Wednesday night and kind of tailed off a little bit in the second half. But I suppose, given the tactical change here and the way we're going to be playing, someone's always going to be the fall guy. Pleased to see Lanzini in there. Yeah.
I mean, I thought he looked. Quite apart from the goal, I thought he looked quite useful against Manchester City.
Yeah.
I think this is as decent a side as we can put out. I mean, clearly, if we were going to have three at the back, normally I think I'd love Ogbonna to be one of them. But that ain't going to happen for obvious reasons. So, I think that's a good side to put out in this match.
Yeah, I totally agree. Normally at this point, I ask you who we believe the main threat is going to be from the opposition. I think the question today is who isn't going to be the big threat in that Chelsea lineup this afternoon. Pretty strong team they've got out there today.
Yeah, I mean, Mendy's goal scoring isn't all that great, I suppose. And, I mean, I don't think he's scored this season, has he? So,
rubbish.
I mean, one thing I'm slightly grateful for is the fact that I think he's coming back from injury, and they said it might be a week too soon for him, but he's on the bench, which is slightly worrying. It's Lukaku. His I score against West Ham and pretty much nobody else at the moment, Lukaku. So, I mean, just looking at Havertz, I think Mount is a hell of a player, and I think he should consider improving himself and joining his mate Declan over at our place. I mean, that would be good.
I mean, we joke about that, but it has been mooted, hasn't it? Because he hasn't been getting an awful lot of football over there this season, or at least
I think. I'm surprised at that because I think he's an excellent player. I mean, you got more. You throw a stick at that lot, you're going to hit an excellent player, aren't you? Really?
Yeah.
So. Having said that, and obviously I haven't seen the game being a little bit out of action over the last couple of days, but I understand that they weren't all that great against Watford. And
it was an interesting game, that one, wasn't it? Because it was kind of broken up by the
I read that
in the stands with the guy taken ill. So I guess that might have something to do with it. But I mean, I suppose we're clutching at straws a little bit here, aren't we? But they are in absolute
perhaps I should have gone then and been taken ill, and
yes.
I don't think me running off to the loo to vomit would actually make them stop the game, though.
No, I'm not sure we'll get away with that one. They've only been beaten once this season, and that was by Man City in a very, very close run game, 1-0. But apart from that, they've pretty much, I mean, they've even been destroying the likes of Juventus, smashed them 4-0, didn't they, a couple of weeks ago in the Champions League? What do we reckon score-wise in this one, though? Are we going to be bold enough to predict West Ham getting a result today?
Well, I've got a feeling that we might win this one, despite all the fact that we're bigging them up and all that.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things that sometimes you've got something in the back of your head that you think, I think I had it against Liverpool when everyone was saying, they're a bit, and I had it. The Manchester City League Cup game was the ultimate one of those. I said we're going to win that. I just knew we would, and I've got that slight feeling here as well today.
Good.
I think losing against Man City, the players will come away from that and think, well, we lost, but it's Man City. Drawing against Brighton will get players thinking, oh, hang on a second. That's on a par with losing against Manchester City.
Yeah.
We've set standards this season, and drawing against Brighton is, it's not up to that standard. And I think that Moyes has picked a side, he's picked a formation that I think would do well in this match. And, I think we're going to nick this 2-1.
Blimey, excellent. Well, let's hope you're right.
And as I say, call it the effects of delirium for not being very well or something, but I'll have that.
All right. Well, no, that's good. That's nice to hear. A bit of positivity. That's what we like. I'm not sure I can be quite as positive given how strong they are. I'm going to go for a draw, though. I think we can. The The problem is we know that Chelsea are very, very difficult to score against. I think they've conceded 6 goals or something ridiculous like that this season.
Yeah.
Of course, we haven't exactly been prolific in front of goal in the last few games. So that all sort of bodes particularly poorly for us. But I reckon we can probably, I've got a feeling Antonio might turn it on today. You know, this is the sort of game.
Yeah,
that's had a lot of criticism in the last few days.
Yeah. That's the other thing that was crossing my mind. You know, it's hang on a second. You know, Antonio hasn't really been at the races, but then he hasn't had an awful lot of service.
Yeah.
And I'm just, you know, every now and then he just suddenly clicks, doesn't he? There's something.
Yeah.
There's a little switch flicks, and I've got a funny feeling it'll be today. But as I say, I mean, you know, if not, lock me away. I mean, I was saying that I'm feeling okay. I'm sweating buckets here at the moment, I have to say. So I'm clearly not 100% well. So
think of the gains. Think of the gains. Yeah. All that weight you'll be losing just sitting on the sofa. Right? People would pay for that, wouldn't they? A solution like that. You know?
So I must be the only person to go to America and lose weight. So
Gianfranco Zola was a little bit naughty earlier on, apparently.
I saw it. I didn't quite hear what he actually said, but they were apologising for it.
They have. He said the word, a word that begins with ball, and then there's 4 letters after it. In relation, he was having a conversation with Rio Ferdinand.
Yeah,
and
I wasn't quite listening to it at that point. So yeah, I was looking at the toast whether or not working out whether it was worth risking. So,
well, he actually he deliberated before delivering the word because
oh really?
He was talking about his apparently he was talking about his free kick prowess. And said, it didn't come naturally. That's why when people tell me it was natural, sorry, forgive me the word. And then he came out of it. So and then said, afterwards, forgive me, that's a very strong word. So quickly realised his mistake. But Jake Humphries, BT Sports, having to apologise. Yeah. Dreadful stuff.
I mean, what I did notice was he apologised for it and then kept referring back to it. Like, you know, if you think it's worth apologising for, apologise, move on. But he keeps saying, and Gianfranco, so add some fruity language there. It was just like,
yeah, terrible stuff in the morning. Where the players are out anyway. Kickoff is nearly upon us. David Moyes is blowing the bubbles away from his face. Kevin Nolan's got his screen out, ready to take a closer look at the action. And Thomas Tuchel.
Well, I've got the knee being taken now, so I'm maybe a few seconds ahead of you. And
all right, let's have a look. I might have to switch over streams.
And we're on now. We started Chelsea kickoff.
Okay.
Attacking the goal to the left, which is obviously the Bobby, and Chelsea possession in their own half. Not an awful lot happening. Just people just try it out, and Chelsea we press very well pressed up front. Chelsea resort to a long ball, which ends up coming through to Fabianski. So some good pressing already from West Ham. Yeah. Ball played up, good nod on from Antonio, but nobody's on the end of it. Now Chelsea can probably get their first attack of the game underway now.
Okay, good stuff.
Chelsea ball down to the byline, cross in, but Rice is there, puts it out for a throw in.
Right, I'm just trying to see.
The clock is now up. It's 49:50 seconds in. If you're trying to catch up there.
Okay, so I'm currently about 15 behind you. So anything important happens, feel free to jump in. But I mean, interesting today. You know, we changed to 5 at the back in the last few minutes against Brighton in midweek, and it sort of all went a bit wrong, didn't it? Poor Arthur Masuaku, as anyone who saw the brief highlights we edited, myself and Pinky were in stitches at his efforts to get one particular cross in just before we conceded the goal, but not out there today, of course. Ben Johnson, are you happy with that? You confident that he'll do a good job on the left?
Yeah, he's got everybody's confidence, hasn't he? Nice interception from Rice there. Well, Rice has intercepted, won the ball. There's a collision. Let's have a look at it now. Rice has got the ball there. Well, yeah, maybe that looks like Rice won the ball cleanly, but Diop came in at the back of the player there, so he's a free kick. But I thought he was being a bit harsher on Rice, but he was being okay with Diop. I think it's probably the best bet. So James is going to take this free kick, which is about 28, 30 yards outside the box, right-hand side. Everyone lined up on the edge of the box, and Rice heads clear, and we can bring it clear now. Oh, didn't quite get the touch to bring it clear. Back on the halfway line with Chelsea. Ball played out wide, and that's good defending from Johnson. You asked if I'm all right, have I got the confidence in Johnson? Yeah, that was an old head there. Ball was played out wide in the air, just stood its ground, made it difficult for the Chelsea player to jump, and then just ducked underneath it, trying to West Ham. So happy with that.
Yep, good stuff. Welcome to everybody joining us on the stream. Steve Palmer, Hobo, everyone else. Steve says he fancies a 3-1 Chelsea win today. Anyone else confident? Anyone else ready to join No and predict a West Ham win? Let us know if so on the live stream in the comments section. Down there somewhere, down there. But we are 3 minutes into the game anyway. Well, West Ham United 0, Chelsea 0
I've just seen the worst
London Olympic Stadium.
The worst ball you'll see a Chelsea player play there. I don't quite know. I'm not quite sure what that was actually, but he was trying to play a looping pass, played with the outside of his. Oh, hang on. Oh, long ball there, nearly caught by goal side, but just hit him on the back, and Chelsea are able to bring it away. But it was a long ball played from the back, well, from midfield. And he was trying to be clever of some sort. It was a sort of flashy flick with the outside of the boot, and it just went straight through to Fabianski. I'm not quite sure who or what he was trying there. No, now, Chelsea on the attack here, but again, Rice, the usual thing, just steps in, little touch. And Rice, can you get it? Yeah, well played, Rice. Nice play there. And bring it away out to the left-hand side. Some good little interplay there. Rice at the centre of it all.
Yes, sorry.
That's a great turn. Sorry. It's a great turn from Rice there. He looked to have played himself into trouble and then just turned away and again found himself some space. Didn't quite keep that in. West Ham, when West Ham have got the ball, now David Moyes is getting angry about something. I'm not quite sure what it is. I think he's just having words with the fourth official there.
Right.
I'm not sure what that's about. Maybe thought it was our throw. Now Lanzini wins the ball. Oh, referee. Oh, that's dreadful. Antonio was bearing down on goal there. Lanzini, David Moyes' face is like thunder. Lanzini seemed to win the ball, and it fell through Antonio, and Lanzini got pulled up for the foul. It looked like he played the ball. He might have clipped the guy after on the follow-through, but there's no foul there.
Jared Bowen very angry as well at that particular decision from Andre Mariner.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to know what the first thing that annoyed Moyes was. It might have been that when the ball went out for a throw, it was given to Chelsea and it may have flicked a Chelsea player, but it certainly seemed very angry for too angry for it to have been just a throw-in, but maybe that was the case. Chelsea on the attack now.
I think David Moyes is feeling the effects, isn't he, from Wednesday night when he felt that West Ham were, hugely hard done by.
Chance for Chelsea there. Goal. Chance for Chelsea there. Ball played in from the right-hand side. It came to, let's have a look now. It's James puts the cross in. Ziyech gets the foot in, but there's a good challenge on him. The ball just rebounds safely through to Fabianski. So good defending there because Ziyech probably had a bit more space than he thought, but it was a good block there. I think Dawson got the block in, and it just bobbled through to Fabianski. That's probably the closest anybody's come to a chance, and that's probably a half chance more than anything else. It was in a dangerous area.
Yep, 6.5 minutes gone, still waiting for our first effort on goal. That was, as Noam says, the closest anyone's come so far. West Ham, 33% of the possession so far, at Chelsea 67%, which I guess is the pattern we're going to see pretty much throughout the rest of the game. But hoping for a little bit more from the Hammers. West Ham, obviously, it looks a bit to me like all the players feel a bit hard done by what happened on Wednesday night. And I think you might see that throughout the rest of the game. And we've just seen a couple of decisions where they've been really, really upset with what happened. We've just seen a picture of the young lad who, my apologies, I forget his name, who was tragically killed recently. Of course, that horrific story of his father and stepmother
Oh, right.
for that this week, and that's why
Yeah.
we're having the minutes flat
Arthur.
right now. That's it. Yeah, Arthur, wasn't it, the young lad? Yeah. Awful
Oh,
case.
well, getting back to the game, we'll talk about that in a minute. But Bowen's just gone running at the Chelsea defence, and let's have a look now. There's a ball given away by Silva, straight played very lazily, straight at Bowen. He's gone running through. He's got to the edge of the box, and it's gone wide. I think he's given a goal kick. I thought they were stepping back for a corner. I don't think it was a corner, but Silva's looking aggrieved at the fact. He's looking like he knows it's his fault, but he's trying to blame someone else. It's one of those, But got a bit of an attack from Bowen, just sliced the shot a bit at the end there, and now Chelsea playing the ball in the penalty area for the goal kick. I'm not a fan of this. I mean, playing out when you play it out from the back, fair enough, but playing inside your penalty area, I don't know. Just A, it doesn't look right to an old-fashioned person like me, and B, I just think you end up being more likely to play yourself into trouble. So.
Well, I think when you do it the way that Chelsea have just done there, where it's
here we go.
The goalkeeper then just hoofed forward, then it's there's not much point to do. I quite like it actually. I think it's nice to see the ball on the deck. No.
Well, some clever throw and some good work on the left. Antonio got down the left. Basically, Chelsea didn't deal with the ball there. Bowen played Antonio in the left. He's looked up. Lovely cross. Souček gets on the end of it. It's a couple of yards wide. It's an ooh, but it's not really troubling anyone. But it's a good move there, and that's where West Ham are going to get something out of this game if they are to get something. It's Chelsea aren't 100% the races. Mistakes are being made at the moment, and we look capable of capitalising on those at the moment. So keep going.
Yeah, Silva on that occasion, giving the ball away a little bit unnecessarily in the.
It's twice he's done it now.
Yeah. Well, was it Silva before? Was it?
Yeah, Silva going to Bowen for that shot.
Okay.
Now Chelsea breaking down the left, and they've got Alonso plays the ball back inside, and it's played inside again. And that's a good shot, and that's James has had a good shot from the edge of the box. Good save from Fabianski. One you'd expect him to make, but he's got everything behind it. It would have crept in just inside the right-hand post from Fabianski's point of view, but he's watched that all the way. Good save, got behind it. It's one of those saves that nobody goes, "Oh, what a fantastic save!" But it did bounce in front of him a little, but he watched it all the way. So, good bit of goalkeeping, good bit of football all round. And again, probably maybe the first shot from either side that is actually on target, but. You get all the stats probably before I do on that, so you'll be able to tell me that.
Yeah, the game's kind of sprung to life, hasn't it, over the last couple of minutes? No shots in the opening 8 minutes, then 3 shots in just over 2 minutes, 2 for West Ham, 1 for the visitors. But it remains West Ham United 0, Chelsea 0. Chelsea in possession once again. This is kind of turning into the sort of game I think we all expected it to, isn't it, so far? No, Chelsea enjoying the majority of possession, West Ham looking to pick them off on the counter and break quickly.
Yeah, and it's how we played against Manchester City. Now that looks offside. Now, I'm not quite sure what that linesman's doing there, but I think that was offside. But Chelsea had a shot. Let's have a look. It wouldn't have counted. Ball played in. Havertz, I think it has had the shot and played it just wide of the near post. I think Fabianski would have saved it had it gone inside the near post, but it wouldn't have counted. There'd have been a flag up for that. It was you wouldn't have needed the lines to see that one. So, but it's just one of those ones where again you can see it, linesman flag, simple as that.
Yeah, Mason Mount the culprit on that occasion, just stepping offside in the penalty area, and West Ham survived 2 shots each so far. Pretty even stuff in this big top 4 clash, London derby at the London Olympic Stadium.
Antonio on the ball now has done very well there, but then unfortunately won the ball nicely, worked really hard, and then unfortunately gave it away, which was a shame because we might have been in a decent position there. I'm just getting possession stats on my on BT now. 75 Chelsea, as you might imagine. They haven't come up with shots yet, but
Well, it's 2-1 West Ham, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, but as you say, I mean, it's 75-25. But then if you look at shots, we've had a header and a shot, which is probably about as much as Chelsea have had. So it's all very well having the possession. I've said this all the time, but it's what you do with it that counts.
Well, it was very, very similar on Wednesday night, wasn't it, against Brighton? Brighton had the majority of possession, and I think it was something like 14-8 to West Ham in terms of shots in our favour. So, yeah.
I mean, from what I've seen, though, the difference between Brighton is that we weren't winning the ball, and when we did, we weren't actually keeping hold of it, and we weren't looking dangerous, where a couple of times we've looked dangerous, might be overstating it a bit, but at least slightly threatening, if there's a status and a level of thing, you go slightly threatening, dangerous, and terrified. But
I think some of our defending terrified me on Wednesday for sure. It was interesting at times, but doing okay now.
Forward again, Chelsea ball played into the box, just played back out to Alonso, and Chelsea a lot of ball, but they're not actually looking penetrative, which when you watch Manchester City, you always think they can get through those lines, but Chelsea aren't looking. They're getting the ball and they're getting to the edge of the box, and then it's having to go back, and that's again some hard work going on there.
We are keeping, for the record, an eye on the Chelsea forum, theshedend.com today, just to see what Chelsea fans are thinking as the game progresses. Hopefully, Noam can. I don't know. Can you keep an eye on KUMB? Noam?
I can in a minute. Now Havertz is twisting and turning, but that's brilliant play from Soufal. He's not let him get the cross in and blocked it out. Bowen's fouled there twice now. And Mariner finally gives the second one. It's only. He got kicked, and he got kicked. Yeah, it was only the second one, and Bowen thought, "Oh, sod this! I'm going to go down now." Bowen had to throw himself to the floor to get the free kick that should have been given naturally. So, give me a second. I'll be trying to get the forum up.
No worries. Quarter of an hour in. West Ham United 0, Chelsea 0. Pretty even stuff so far. Chelsea, as we said, have had the majority of the ball, but West Ham 2 shots, Chelsea 2 so far. As we were just saying there, we're going to be keeping an eye on both the KUMB.com forum match thread to see what the West Ham view is from the fans watching this one today, and also the shedend.com, which is the Chelsea forum. I can tell you now that they're pretty confident over on the Chelsea forum, even though they're a little bit surprised by their quiet start. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good for West Ham, I guess. Bodes pretty well. Let us know what you think of the game so far in the live chat here on YouTube. If you're joining us this afternoon, and it is afternoon now, isn't it? Of course, it's 1:45. West Ham.
I've got a clue what time of day it is.
What are our fans saying?
I'll tell you. I'll open up this thing. Bear in a second. I'll come back to our forum. Souček's on the right wing and plays a nice ball inside of Bowen. Back to Soufal. Soufal and Bowen trying to work some space here. It's gone back to Dawson, and Rice is now looking for an alternative passes. Rice there reminded me, having just come back from the States there, Rice there running along, looked like a quarterback, sort of wondering where to deliver the ball. He was just sort of going across the back line, looking up. Unfortunately, it's back with Chelsea now. I think Chelsea
did that on Wednesday, didn't we, as well? Very, very similar when Rice was in possession. Not a lot on for him. Interestingly, one of the comments on the shed end from a poster called Avisi says that Rice versus our midfield, I'm not confident. So more plaudits for Rice from opposition fans.
Yeah, it's we keep saying it week in, week out. He's a class act. I'm just looking at the game there, and Dawson does quite well to play the ball there. Bowen does well to keep it in, and wins the throw in. That's excellent from Bowen. He's got somebody up his back every time he gets the ball out on that touch line, having a little nibble, having a little kick, and he's played it off the Chelsea player. Chelsea are claiming it might have got another touch on its way past, but well, we've won the throw there. I think Mariner might be giving us one back there, but now Antonio, lovely nod on. Bowen can't quite keep it in. May have just been offside anyway, but nice little nod on from Antonio. Intelligent header. So anyway, I'm just catching up with the yeah, people. Not much happening on the forum at the moment.
Because most people are at the game, presumably, watching what's going on.
Yeah.
You'd like to think.
We've got a free kick here, and the referee now. We've got 2 free kicks here. I think the referee gave the advantage for the first one, and the ball went on, and we've got a second one there. Basically, Declan Rice was pulled down, and then Lanzini was pulled down. Now, which one has he given? Oh, we'd rather have the one further up, but he's gone back and given it for the first one. We had a free kick potentially right on the edge of the box on the corner of the box, and he let play go on till it reached the corner of the box when there was a second foul on Lanzini, and then he decides to give the first one. Explain that one. You know, you're supposed to play the advantage. He didn't.
Well, I think he did, didn't he? He's played the advantage there.
Well,
and we haven't had an advantage, so he's pulled it back for the original free kick.
Well,
I'm not sure whether he should have given it for the one closer to the goal, but that's clearly what he's done there.
Yeah. But he should have given the second one. Anyway, free kick. And Rice plays the ball in. This is looking good. Oh, that's headed away for a corner, I think. Good free kick. You'll have to bear with me because I've just lost the pages that I had open. I accidentally clicked on the wrong button. That's Loftus-Cheek heads a very dangerous looking ball in from Rice clear. So Lanzini now, corner then from the West Ham left. And most goals from corner stats arrives up on the screen, which is us 6.
Corner from Lanzini corners, no.
Oh, it's flicked on. Oh, finally there's a shot in, but it's a bit weak. Just see it again. It's flicked on by Dawson. It hits Souček, comes back out of Dawson, whose shot is very weak. Little toe poke, and it just rolls through safely at Mendy. But again, shot on goal, and Chelsea didn't look happy with that corner, I have to say.
It's the
so maybe some profit to be had from those.
It's the same old corner routine, isn't it? As we said the other day, Cresswell delivered a corner like that against Liverpool. Bonner scored. In midweek, it was Fornals taking the corner and Souček scored. And then we've just seen Lanzini try exactly the same thing with Dawson almost profiting. So, obviously a tried and tested routine that, it clearly has everyone worried. And, why not?
Antonio down the left now gets a long cross in, far too close to Mendy. But impressive thing about that is that the ball's worked out to Antonio purely as a result of Bowen getting up and winning one in the air. Now, I've noticed something about Bowen. He's a game jumper. He'll have taller defenders. Taller defenders. I mean, he's not the tallest of the guys as far as I'm aware. I mean, some stato can tell me how tall he really is, but he will always jump for a ball. He'll never give a defender an easy jump. And it's not the first time he's done that this afternoon. And maybe the first time he's won it in the air, but it's not the first time he's had a jump. Now, Chelsea take a quick free kick and the ball's out on left-hand side with Alonso, who's looking to get down to the byline. And that's a bit unlucky. Soufal blocked the cross and then tried to swing it out, so it went out for a throw, and I think it just went out for the wrong side of the corner flag. I think it's going to be a corner.
Coming back to Bowen very briefly, we saw that the other night in the first half, didn't we? Against Brighton, 2 or 3 times he intercepted the ball and set up chances. Very, very alert, very sharp. Always does. Just need to, sort his goal scoring out a little bit. A few chances the other night, and again one today. But vital player.
Ziyech corner fails to beat Soufal on the first man. It's back out with Ziyech, who's running across goal, trying to find an entry, but it's gone all the way back now. Halfway inside the West Ham half, and Bowen again puts in a little bit of a challenge, and referee's finally blown. Well, Jorginho's not a happy bunny, and insult to injury. I think Jorginho may have had a little bit of a point, but Rice seemed to have fouled Jorginho there. Let's have a look. Well, Bowen had a nibble at him, and no, I don't think Rice touched him. And so he's gone down, and let's have a look at this angle. No, it's just, I mean, there's a little bit of contact, but nothing, it's not enough to make him go down. But he's gone down to pick the, to grab the foul sort of thing, and put his hand on the ball, and it got free kick to West Ham, and long ball played out, come back to that, long ball played to Antonio, who's in the channel on the left, optimistically had a go from there. It was, but again, it was Route 1 stuff, but Antonio gives the defenders a really tough time and did well. Got a shot in. But getting back to that Jorginho thing, he's gone down, he's put his hand on the ball, and the referee gives the free kick for handball. So Jorginho throws the ball away in anger and gets a yellow card for it. Stupid, really. As I say, I thought originally there might have been a foul, but when you look at it, there's no meaningful contact there at all. So
I don't think there was any contact at all, to be fair. But that's that kind of entitlement.
I mean, Bowen had a nibble,
where he went to pick the ball up, isn't it? And obviously Mariner was just having none of it.
Bowen clipped him, and if it would have fell from that, there'd been no complaints. But that was half a second earlier. So so anyway, Chelsea on the attack again. Mount there, so I keep someone in habit. But again, they sort of get so far, look up, and then we'll go back and play it to yellow shirts. So it's an interesting game at the moment, rather than a classic, shall we say? But it's West Ham. The tactics are working well. They're from a defensive point of view. Just need one of these counters now to go our way, and this could be very interesting indeed. Chelsea still with the ball now, though. Alonso plays an early cross in, but that's not clear by Zuma, I think that was. And again, it's back by the centre circle again. Now, Chelsea now get a cross in, and it's not the most powerful of headers. Good cross. I mean, it's one time that James had some space in, and Havertz not marked in any meaningful way, but couldn't get enough on the header to bother Fabianski, who dives down to his left and gathers sensibly. But again, that's a shot on goal. So we're just getting the both teams have had 3 attempts. West Ham 1 on target, Chelsea 2. So fairly even in the sort of areas where it counts, I think it's fair to say.
Yes, I think whoever's doing the BBC stats has got that wrong, because they've put it in West Ham's column, which says it was 4-2, which isn't the case, because it was 3 shots to 2 in West Ham's favour just a moment ago. Hellos to Andy. Good to see you on the stream, Andy. Aaron saying that I think Chelsea have scored something like 33 goals while conceding only 6 in the league. So if we score, it'll be amazing, and if we keep a clean sheet, it will be amazing. But we're halfway there at the moment, Aaron. Anyway, so let's hope we can get the goal to cap it off in the next 65 minutes or so. Anyway,
some vaguely promising stuff on our right hand side. There's Soufal and Souček getting involved, but Souček tried to get across and it got blocked, and eventually it's been worked out for a throw in to Chelsea, deep in Chelsea territory. So, but let's keep them there. Again, good work from Diop there. Again, I thought Antonio was fouled there. Ball played up to Antonio. Thought there was a little bit of stuff going on, but Chelsea break now. And it's down by the byline. Chelsea get across. No, it's blocked. Some good blocking there from. Excuse Excuse me, I just need a glass of water here. It's a good block from Diop. Sorry, that's what I was about to say.
Just trying to catch up here.
That's the trouble when there's only two of us. When one of you gets a coughing fit, you need a third one. That's what So, corner to Chelsea on their right, our left. 27 minutes played, by the way, in case anyone's counting. And Antonio's back for the corner as well. So let's have a look, see what happens now. Corners, outswinging corner towards the penalty spot. Takes a couple of deflections. It's gone out for another one. Another corner to Chelsea in the same position. So not much happening there. Still reopening all the pages. I accidentally managed to close a couple of seconds ago. So we will, I promise you, comment on the forum at some stage.
You happy with the way we've defended so far? No.
We're 1-0 down. Corner came across.
Yeah, classic timing there.
Yeah. Corner came across. Silva's got on the end of it, and I'd like to see it again because I don't think there was. I think they're remarking it as they focus on the Chelsea supporters who don't like the question, "Who did you used to support?" Corner comes across, and it's just nodded down there. It wasn't Silva. Oh, it was Silva. Sorry, yeah. It's nodded down. Fabianski got a hand to it, but couldn't keep in. And it's gone in off the post. It would have been a fine save if Fabianski could have kept that out. But
yes, there you go. The first goal goes to the visitors. It's actually Michail Antonio who loses his man. Antonio really should have been picking him up there. I think we can see from the replay. But anyway, the Hammers here. I mean, Antonio's just been left cut adrift there. It's kind of, I mean, it's Dawson maybe Dawson another inch high would have got ahead to it. Fabianski really unlucky there. No, did really well to get across, but just couldn't. Yeah. It's a perfectly positioned header.
Now, Antonio's again bustling his way in and has managed to. He's kept it in. No, he's kept it in. Good turn there from Johnson. Johnson gets the cross in, and it's headed back out. But Soufal's got a shot. Oh, it's cleared off the line by. And the ball's headed in, and that was cleared off the line by Silva, who hadn't been having a very good game until he got the goal. But it's a great effort from Soufal. Chests it down, gets the shot in. It's beaten Mendy all ends up, and Silva is just behind Mendy and clears it off the line there. So a good reaction so far to the goal. Which, to be fair, I mean, I know Chelsea have had all that possession, but they haven't really been knocking at the door. And I think we're a little bit unlucky to be behind here. I think that's my opinion.
Credit to Michail Antonio as well there for the cross. Hopefully that that perceived error. I'm assuming it was him who was supposed to be marking Silva. Will spur him on. But West Ham work to do now, and of course, as we said, scoring against Chelsea has been very, very difficult for anybody this season. Scoring twice against Chelsea. Seems a pretty almost insurmountable task, you would say. But anyway, it's a long way to go. We're only a third of the way through the game. Half an hour on. West Ham United 0, Chelsea 1.
Yeah. Now Chelsea on the attack again, and that's a dangerous ball. Well cut out though. Well cut out. I think it was Zuma at that time. Ball comes back in again, and Zuma's like a ball magnet at the moment. Gets to his head. It's back out. Chelsea are now sort of. I think the goal's given them a little bit of confidence to try stuff on, where before they would just, when they get so far, if there was nothing dangerous on it, would go back. But having said that, it's now going back again. So we just need to regroup. Think about what we're doing well here. I think very unlucky with the goal now.
I can confirm for you that the last time Chelsea conceded 2 goals in a single game was on the 23rd of May in a 2-1 defeat at Aston Villa. So you've got to go back, 6 months, 7 months now, nearly 7 months to find the last time Chelsea. So West Ham definitely are up against it here. No.
The ball was worked through. It came to Loftus Cheek and at the edge of the box there. He had a shot. Declan sort of managed to get enough of a block on it. Again, harmlessly through to Fabianski, but there's a nice ball played up there. Bowen could Bow did well to actually get anything on it, and if he could have laid it off slightly differently, there might have been an attack there, but it wasn't. It didn't. Granny had wheels, should be a skateboard, and Chelsea are on the ball again. So.
Good work from Sufal, says Steve Palmer. Good to see you, Steve. Also, Mel, good to see you on the stream. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Yep. David, how you doing? Good to see you. Let's hope Hammers can get this goal back before half time, and who knows, maybe even, as I said, break that hoodoo. Chelsea 7 months since they last conceded 2 goals in a competitive match, and West Ham definitely up against it here this afternoon.
Chelsea have gone down the left, our right, and Sufal was slightly on his heels there. Nice ball in, but some great defending as the ball came in. Just trying to see who's in the end of it. 2 defenders got there and blocked out the cross. I'm not sure which one got the final touch, but corner to Chelsea on their left now, and that's corner to Chelsea. Ziyech is going to take on their left, and this time it's dealt with. It's gone all the way back now, and somebody has a pump from distance, and optimistic is the word for that one. I think it might have been Silver again, wasn't it? It's showing Silver now. Yeah, you see, I mean, all the years I played, and probably you, Graham, you'd normally have someone on the post, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but things change, you know. It
seems to have gone out of fashion there. So, you know, it's just somebody on the post. We don't concede that goal, but anyway, Chelsea have given the ball away. Now Rice is looking up.
The way that we play that differently as well. You know, people never used to play the ball out in the old days. You know, it was just a loft from the goalkeeper up the ground. So so these things change, don't they? But you're right. In the old days, you most certainly would have had one on each post. That's for sure.
Chelsea on the break there. Dawson just nips in with a slightly late challenge and free kick to Chelsea. No complaints there. Dawson just jogs back. Job done. And, Chelsea, 18 yards inside their own half. Long ball played forward, and that's well played. That's well shepherded. Havertz got into the box a little bit, but he was shepherded out and we managed to play the ball away for a throw in. Again, Ziyech forced all the way back by about 20 yards, and now it's back in the Chelsea half. Some good defensive hassling there, but I want to see a little bit more of us from an attacking point of view. I mean, it's all very well sort of sitting back and hitting on the counter, but you've got to hit on the counter for that to work. And we're not perhaps doing enough to win the ball back. We're keeping out at bay, but let's have a look now. Again, that was Rudiger had a bit of space to try and angle a shot, but again, it's nicely blocked. And another shot from distance, but that's just along the floor, and it's in fact Fabianski could have saved himself a few seconds and put that down and taken that as taking the knee. That's how easy it was to deal with. Oh, come on, right? Souček's just been clipped and fouled, and it's been given away. Chelsea at the box, but that's a good and some great blocking and defending there. But Souček was fouled there, I thought. Souček has a quick look at Mariner, but that could have been dangerous. Souček giving the ball away. If Mariner wasn't going to give it, you need to be sort of a little bit more awake. And so again, face like thunder, David Moyes at the moment. He's not happy, Bunny. Now Rice, not exactly. It wasn't a misplaced pass, but it wasn't the best one for Dawson to deal with, and Dawson had to go and retrieve it a little bit.
Interesting stat for you while we're waiting for the next attack to occur. 42.4%, in fact, of Chelsea's Premier League goals so far this season have been scored by defenders, which is particularly high, isn't it? You wouldn't expect that for sure.
Yeah, from a team with so many attackers, but now Sufal played what would have been an interesting ball for Antonio, but Antonio's not on the same wavelength. Chelsea bring the ball away, but that's a great challenge from Dawson, and West Ham can now build. Antonio, again, the ball's played into him. He controls it, but the pass it went to a West Ham player, but it was behind him, and he had to stop and retrieve, which so the momentum sort of broke down there a little bit, I'm afraid. And we've now got the ball back with Fabianski.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that's a great challenge from Craig Dawson to win it back.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Fantastic stuff. Good work.
Was. Now, again, just a little bit unlucky there. Antonio wins the ball, and it just doesn't quite fall for Lanzini, who might have been in an interesting position there. Just a little bit of luck, mate. Things aren't quite going our way. Now, Bowen, back pass. No, referee. It's given, yes. Well played, Bowen. Bowen got on the end of a back pass. And Mendy came out. He beat Mendy to it, took the ball away from Mendy. Mendy slid in. My first thought was penalty. Andre Mariner's said exactly the same thing. Mendy actually got to the ball first, didn't control it. And Bowen's actually then... it's brilliant. Bowen's got his foot in and Mendy's just come in behind him. It's his knees that have caught Bowen more than anything else. Penalty. Well played, Bowen. He's done well there.
Great stuff. We said he'd look lively, didn't we, Jared Bowen? We said he'd had a good start, and there's more evidence of it.
I think he's having a fine game. So Mendy's shaking his head. Now Lanzini has got the ball on the spot, and Mendy's doing the usual, taking his time, doing his shoelaces up on the 6-yard box. Lanzini can take a spot kick, can't he? I mean, I
hope so. We'll soon find out.
We've seen him score before, anyway. Let's put it this way.
No one else can at the moment, so fingers crossed.
Exactly. I mean, having said that, I mean, we got all 5 against Man City.
Well, true.
True. Okay. In you go, Matt Lanzini. Lanzini rubs his hands in anticipation. Mariner blows the whistle. Get on, son. And it's in. It's in 1-1. Lanzini gives Mendy absolutely no chance. And there's a little bit of shenanigans as Lanzini's running back. Chelsea player sort of kind of bumps into him a little bit, and Lanzini turns around and says something not particularly nice, I presume. Although if I were Lanzini, I might be a little bit more circumspect. He's shorter than I am, having met the lad. So, fine penalty. Mendy's gone completely the wrong way, and in it goes. Hits the.
Well, we were talking, weren't we, Noam, about bringing Lanzini back into the team. A lot of people have been calling for it over the course of the last couple of games, and there it is. We have someone who can take a penalty inside regulation time. I mean, this is amazing. Yeah. What a great finish! Top left, brilliant finish.
Lanzini didn't actually save it. Walking back, James kind of just bumps into him a little bit. Lanzini gives him the sort of look that implies that if he doesn't do, he knows someone who will. And anyway, 1-1 back in it, and I mean, for all Chelsea's possession, I said I thought we were a little bit unfortunate to be behind. So I think on the whole, and I'll have a look at the forum. And when I looked at the forum before, people were a little bit less positive than me, shall we say? I will. Tommy Hammer.
Tommy Hammer.
We'll come back to that. Chelsea dangerous position, but again a good block to a shot there, and again good blocking. And I don't know who that is. He's complaining, wanted a penalty, but forget it. Somebody just stood in the way, and but anyway, it's gone through to Fabianski. Tommy Hammer.
Yes.
Just as the penalty was awarded, I thought he'd been a sort of predictive there, but it was actually just as the penalty, because he says penalty West Ham, but he just said Chelsea have so many errors in them when pressurised, and I think that is what I've been thinking here from what I've seen. There are errors, and if you get at them, as we see, I mean that was terrible goalkeeping from Mendy. It has to be said. It was not good football from Mendy at all, because he did get goal side of the ball from Bowen, and instead of sort of being sensible and perhaps you're under pressure, you're in your own penalty area, just put the thing out for a throw in. He thought he'd be clever and try and shield it. Bowen, who did marvellously well, got round him, got the ball, and Mendy clearly panicked and slid in.
And interestingly, that's not the first time we've seen mistakes from Chelsea today. Uncharacteristically, really, from the Blues.
Another goal, another error. Mendy under not an awful lot of pressure. The ball was played back to him, straight into touch, and we go on the attack. Now, ball's left wing with, I think it's Johnson, who tries to get across him, but it's blocked. Throw into West Ham, deep in Chelsea territory. Johnson does get the cross in this time, but it's just too high for Souček. Chelsea played out, but West Ham having a bit of pressure now. Until the ball's headed forward, and well, that's great header forward again. And Lanzini turns; he's got the bit between his teeth now, and another lovely turn. Plays a lovely ball to Antonio. Antonio keeps the ball well, plays it back to Rice. Now right wing with Soufal, plays it down the line to Bowen. Bowen going across the pitch, trying to find somewhere to lay it off to. Lays it off to Soufal. It's back on the right wing. Soufal. Now, Bowen's just been clattered in the middle there, and the referee's seen it and just waving play on. I think he may have thought it was an accidental collision. Bowen not happy. Ball left wing now, and played at the centre now with Souček. Good bit of possession here for West Ham, with Rice now. Rice's ball was good. Souček wasn't on the same wavelength. We've given it away now, and Chelsea come forward. Ziyech, there's a man over on the far. Oh, that's a good goal. Mount of all people. It's a good finish. Ball played from Ziyech all the way across the Mount, totally unmarked on the far side. Volleyed straight in. Bit unfortunate because that came just as we were having a lot of possession. It's what can you say? I mean, sometimes you've got to put your hands up and say that's a good goal, but
well, I think you can say is that once again we're architects of our own demise. We had the ball in a comfortable position in midfield and just conceded possession, and bang, 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 it's in the back of the net. Yeah,
what I would say is just before he hit the cross, I'm not entirely sure Ziyech didn't handle that, but it's beaten Lanzini at the near post. You'd expect somebody not to be trying to shoot from there, but I think Lanzini beaten at the near post. It's a good finish, but I'd say, I mean, it was a good ball from Declan had Souček been there to read it. And unfortunately, Souček didn't read it, and ended up sort of trying to, have it to try and win it back. So,
I know this.
Sorry, Deck.
I know this might seem unpopular because he's a West Ham boy, but in the spirit of fairness, last weekend at Manchester City and in midweek against Brighton, we were very, very critical of Arthur Masuaku for being out of position when both of those teams scored. We've just seen Ben Johnson about 5 yards out of position. He really should have been picking up Mount there and was out of position.
I think Johnson's coming off actually by the looks of things. He's got one. Yeah. Well, this is interesting. Antonio's tried a shot from the kickoff. It's gone only a yard wide, but it was never going to bother Mendy. Johnson's just come off. Arthur Masuaku's coming on. I'm guessing from the look of things, Johnson had his left trouser leg rolled up, or his shorts leg rolled up. Suggests to me possible hamstring. It's as I say, it's not ideal, but that could go some way to explaining why Johnson wasn't there. It's certainly where you'd expect. I did wonder why there was nobody there to pick that up, and if that is down to an injury, then it's even more unfortunate. So
we're saved, people. We are saved. Arthur's on the pitch. King Arthur, come on, you owe us a good game today, son. But looks like this is going to be the score as we go to half time anyway.
from Zuma. Chelsea. Oh, now Zuma's. Oh no, sorry, that was Johnson. Zuma's just put in a brilliant tackle on. I'm not quite sure what that was, but Zuma's down injured. This is not good because they just showed a little clip of Johnson desperately trying to get back, and he was hobbling. He was limping heavily. So that's clearly why he was out of position. So that's just one of those things. Now Zuma put in a brilliant tackle there, and we're going to go into overtime. In overtime, it's 2 minutes of stoppage were added, and
no.
Tuchel, let's have a look at this. Tuchel is complaining. No, that's a great challenge. That's a great challenge. He's taking the ball cleanly. Tuchel's going doing his nut as the fourth official, but he's taken the ball. I mean, surely Tuchel can't be saying that's a back pass, but but no, it's as I say. So 2 players down at the moment. You're not missing anything at the moment. It's
a huge concern for West Ham here if Zuma is in trouble. I mean, we saw him rubbing his upper left thigh there. We hope that's not a muscle strain or a stretch. But fortunately, I guess you could say if there's anything fortunate about it, it's that it's happened right on the cusp of half time, and they'll be able to get him in and give him some treatment for the next 20 minutes. But we can ill afford to lose Zuma, having already lost, Johnson, of course, Angelo Bonner some weeks ago.
Yeah. Sorry, just showing the penalty again, which is it's clear as daylight.
Won the ball.
It was just such a as I say, bad bit of play from everyone involved, really, on their part. We're still in this, Zuma's sort of jogging around, which is a good sign, and he's the physio there has just put his hand up and given a thumbs up. So even though he's got his shorts leg rolled up as that's the halftime whistle anyway. So now Silva's having a moan about something now. God, they do like a whinge, don't they? So we're 2-1 down. I'm not disheartened at that because I thought we played well. The fact we're 2-1 down is partly due to the unfortunate Johnson getting an injury right at the wrong point. It was a good finish from Mount. But when you're not having a good day, things like that happen to you. So half time, not out of this by a long chalk. We just hope that Zuma's injury is nothing serious, and it's going to sort of sort itself out during the interval. You're going to ask me, would I make any changes in the second half? I suspect in a minute.
Well, I might do at some point, not just yet. We'll come to that in just a moment, though. But let's have a quick review of that first half. I mean,
can I just take 1 second time out? I just want to get myself another drink of water. So if you want to, I'm listening in the background. So
all right, no worries. Okay, I'll take you through the main points of the first half until Noam returns from the kitchen. Of course, as I was just about to say, it was a very, very quiet opening. Nothing really happened for the opening 6 or 7 minutes. Then we had 3 shots, in the space of 90 seconds. Bowen tested Mendy just wide. Souček header from Antonio Cross, and then, of course, James with that effort at the other end. And we had to wait a little while before the first goal. Of course, we had our first yellow card of the half in 23 minutes when Jorginho was booked for arguing for Andre Mariner having the temerity not to give him a free kick for
that was funny.
A challenge that he didn't deserve a free kick for, quite frankly. But there you go. That was the first yellow of the game, and that preceded the opening goal, which came on the 29th minute. Silva, it was Chelsea's second header within the space of just a few seconds. The first one cleared out for another corner. The second one floated to the near post where Silva rose above. We think it was Michail Antonio, who probably should have been picking him up, didn't do it. The ball narrowly evading Craig Dawson, who jumps at the near post, and Silva had a free header. Nodded it perfectly, to be fair. It was an absolutely brilliant finish right in the corner. Lucas Fabianski did his absolute best to stretch out and get a hand on it. He did get a hand on it, but he couldn't prevent it from nestling just inside the post. 1-0 Chelsea. West Ham level, though, 11 minutes later. Now, Chelsea, as Noam and I had been talking about, had made a few errors in that first half. Silva, the goal scorer, especially, uncharacteristically conceding possession once or twice inside his own half in the early stages of the game. But this time it was Mendy who made an absolute howler, and no question at all. It was a definite penalty.
Oh yeah, no question of it. I think there was. I think these days when players get given a penalty against them, there's usually an initial no referee, because I think they feel they have to, or it's almost like a Pavlovian response. I suspect if we see sort of a goal-bound header punched over by a defender, that they'll find something to moan about at that. But okay, slightly extreme, but that's the impression you get. But no, Bowen did fantastically well. Excuse me. I think he's having a very good game, Bowen.
Yep.
Yeah. Not in terms of he had one sort of early chance on an early shot, but not in terms of sort of chances created or anything like that. But we mentioned earlier on, there's a ball played up, and he's not the tallest, but he'll get up, and okay, the defender might win the ball, but he'll have to work to win it. Yeah, and he does win the ball, quite a few in the air. He does jump very well, and he's obviously in his career he's been taught to jump properly. I was one of the things was always amazed me about, say, Peter Crouch, was that he wasn't that good in the air, and I guess the reason was that being that tall, he'd never had to learn to jump properly, because when he was a kid, you just hit it up in the air, and he's like 2 foot tall anyway, so he'll score. But when challenged, he was never that. He was always difficult. He wasn't that difficult to play against. So Bowen has had a very good game. He's been the probably more a thorn in the Chelsea defensive side than Antonio has been today.
Yeah,
because he's certainly keeping them honest. For the penalty, as I say, Mendy was favourite for that, because he got there first. He was goal side, but instead of just hitting it straight out, he took a touch, which was far too heavy. Bowen ran round him, got between him and the ball. Mendy panicked and just basically slid in, and it's his two knees that sort of that bring Bowen down. And excellent play from Bowen. Penalty superbly taken by Lanzini. Mendy no chance, and
So 1-1 at that point.
Yeah, 1-1.
Great finish from Lanzini. We were bemoaning the fact that West Ham haven't been able to find a good penalty taker for some time. We've seen an awful lot miss, but the West Ham were level for just 4 minutes. Unfortunately, it was a really good goal, to be fair, from Chelsea. But again, West Ham, causing their own problems, conceding possession on the halfway line, looked pretty comfortable, gave the ball away. Ziyech broke down the left. It was a lovely deep floated cross to the opposite side of the pitch, just inside the penalty area, where Declan's mate, Mason Mount, struck a really, really good volley, low down, technically excellent, actually, to be fair. It was a very, very good goal, but really disappointing, known from a West Ham perspective, to, get yourself level within the, with 5 minutes left of the game, at the half, and then to concede again. David Moyes is going to be furious about that one, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, your and my thoughts were originally that was terrible defending. How did somebody on our left have so much space?
Yeah.
As it turned out, and as we were looking, it turned out that poor old Johnson, who might have been expected to be out that side, could barely walk, and he was sort of not hobbling. He was trying to run, and it was sort of like a little gallop. And we've had good chances here as well. But yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, if Johnson had been fit and not been there, then you'd have said, yeah, horrendous defending. Otherwise, it's kind of unlucky, really. If you've got a player who's supposed to be doing a job and can't do it because he's injured, there's not an awful lot you can do about that.
No, that's true. That's true. But one player who wasn't injured and wasn't doing his job. We're going to roll back to the first goal. I just saw the replay once again. Michail Antonio, just no excuse for losing Silva for that. He's with him. Silva just gives him a little shove in the back. Antonio doesn't react. Silva escapes behind him, comes in, and he's got a free header. And that's the problem, isn't it? It's just, you know, it's fine margins. Antonio does his job. The goal isn't scored. If poor Ben Johnson is fully fit, Mason Mount hasn't got the opportunity and the time to pick his spot from there. So West Ham a little bit unfortunate, but just take a quick look at the first half match stats. As predicted, after about 5 minutes, Chelsea have enjoyed the majority of possession. West Ham 33%, Chelsea 67%, which I think, Noam, is when we mentioned it right at the start of the game, is exactly how those stats were back then in terms of possession. Yeah. But no surprise there, of course. In terms of shots, West Ham 7 shots, 3 on target. Chelsea 12 shots, 6 on target. So West Ham probably have to tighten up a little bit at the back. But bear in mind Chelsea's excellent defensive record. You know, I said earlier in the half that you have to go back to May for the last occasion on which they conceded more than 1 goal in the game. West Ham have probably done pretty well to create those 7 chances and get 3 on target. Unfortunately, we have to be a little bit tighter at the other end.
Yeah, so it's just shown again the second goal, and just watching back, Johnson is desperately trying to get back all the way through there, and you just feel for the guy because he's probably feeling pretty glum about not being there to mark Mount, but he was trying to get back even with it. But he may even have done himself a bit more damage, which is I mean, something we'll discuss later, but our position so far has been predicated on the fact that we, by and large, okay, 1 or 2 exceptions, but by and large managed to keep a squad pretty fit. We're sitting there, we're waiting for news on Zuma, obviously, who was in trouble at the end of the first half. But, we've got Johnson now. But then we've got Cresswell, hopefully, to come back. So, I mean, that's 1 in, 1 out. But,
he was touch and go for today, wasn't he?
Yeah, we're going to see how we're going to see how good this squad is over the next week or two, because every time I look, it's there's another game around the corner. So, but I mean,
should we?
Yeah, we've had chances. I mean, the one we haven't talked about was, which again we were a little bit unlucky with, was Soufal's effort that got cleared off the line by Silva.
Yes. Well, West Ham were 1 down at the time. Yeah.
And I mean, it's not like we've had no chances at all.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that, Noam, because we said at the start, didn't we, that we felt this would be a game where Antonio might take the opportunity to shine, and that was pretty much his only input in that first half. I mean, apart from losing his marker for the goal, that cross for the Soufal shot was the only time we've really seen Antonio look anything at his best. I mean, David O'Rourke on the live chat saying that Antonio's done very little since winning the September Player of the Month, if we're honest, and it's difficult to argue with that, really.
But should we have a quick look at the forum?
Yeah, by all means, go ahead.
There's a lot of Fabianski's taking some stick over the second goal because it's his near post. I don't know. Yes, it was his near post, and that's positioning thing. But they're saying he's slow to get down. I don't think you're expecting a shot from that angle. I don't know. I think that's a bit harsh on Fabianski, to be honest. It was an excellent volley, but I'm just catching up with a few of these now. But there's some comments there. Something I noted as well was I mentioned it when we were doing commentary there, but I'd like to see it again. But Rudiger off the ball took out Bowen, and a lot of comments on that saying that how hasn't that been picked up? And but But anyway, Bubbles 1966. They've been better than us on the ball, but we have threatened. Yeah. But we can't have handfuls of players off it, though. Our left back is targeted every week. Antonio's having a mare, and Fabianski's playing himself out of the team. A little bit harsh on Fab, I think.
Yeah,
Bowen has been excellent. Agree with that. His press is creating the opportunities. Rice is getting not stick and all that, but reluctant stick, I suppose, for giving the ball away. And I think it wasn't. I think there were 3 players at fault there, because there was a little triangle of Rice, Dawson, and Souček.
Yep.
And Rice played it. Dawson could have played that and left it to Souček. Souček clearly thought it was a ball for Dawson, and ended up having to try and rescue the ball, failing, and that's where the goal came through. So I think all 3 really. I think Rice shouldn't get 100% of that. I think 33 1/3% each for that one. I think for that giveaway, because if either of those pick it up, it's a good ball. So it's all very well playing good balls, but I guess you've got to have your teammates on the same wavelength. Junko partner, who's a regular on here, these things. Glad to see Zuma jog to the tunnel. We really can't lose him today, which is fair enough. Johnson getting a bit of stick. Now, I thought Johnson had a reasonably good game down on that side. But Peaches says, I know Johnson was injured upfield for the goal, but he's been really poor, standing way too far off James and Ziyech. Antonio has been a 0 out of 10. Well, Antonio's not had a great game. He's working hard, but it's one of those things where nothing's happening and players can try too hard, I think. But I thought Johnson, I didn't agree with Johnson there, Junker. What have we got here? Beavis Danzig. It's bizarre, but 3 at the back always makes us worse defensively. We had an outstanding defensive shape with 4. I don't understand why we binned it because of some crap performances. Well, I'm thinking back to maybe 2 years ago now when we were still in a relegation fight, and we started playing with 3 at the back regularly. And if you remember, for a month or 2, that was our regular slot, and it seemed to work. So I think tactically, it's not a bad thing. Bit of an update, and not one I want to see, given his history, but Havertz, who was receiving treatment off the pitch after that excellent challenge from Zuma before anyone Chelsea say it's a foul. Havertz hasn't made it out for the second half. Lukaku's on, who's our old foe, shall we say. We're just about to kick off now, so we'll return you to your usual broadcast.
Well, before we get back to the game, let's just have a quick look at some of the comments on the Chelsea forum. They're all obviously quite happy with the way that it's going on the shedding.com. But interestingly, they felt they should have had a penalty for that challenge by Zuma. Lots of people. Yeah, I tend to agree. Antonio saying, my biggest fear has been realised. Zuma clumsy ass injured one of our players. Phil saying, oh, don't say another injury. Sundray Havertz looks injured. Carrick Blue, is there a shout for a penalty there? Sorry, I forgot. VAR hate us anyway. Which I think is a comment you can read on every single independent fans forum, regardless of who the team are. Everyone thinks VAR hates them. We know they hate West Ham, but that's another point entirely.
The game's back underway. He took the ball cleanly, and there's no question he took the ball cleanly. I mean, we all know Chelsea supporters, they're only there because they like the colours, and actually knowing stuff about football is kind of secondary to that. And, they haven't had this much problem since they supported Man United and all that going on. But no way is that a penalty.
We've just seen the Chelsea player rolling around at the few seconds ago there. Already
where the game's barely around him.
A minute in, that was Mason Mount on that occasion. Expect better from some of our English players. No, one for you, Simon Parker, speaking on the live chat, says, don't you feel Mendy should have been sent off for that challenge on Bowen?
No. I think you find it was, again, it wasn't denying a goal-scoring opportunity in itself. It was, Souček given offside there. Not sure it was. Sorry. The ball was going away from goal, and that's one you've got. People who, like myself, have done a bit of refereeing, and years ago I was actually qualified for a while, but so let that lapse. But there are 4 things that referees have to take into account. One of which is the direction that the ball's going in. And if it's not going towards the goal, and it's going way outside, it doesn't prevent a goal-scoring opportunity. What it's prevented there is the opportunity for a goal-scoring opportunity. I think we're one step away from a red card there, but arguable whether or not there was an attempt at a tackle as well. I mean, but no, that's not a red for me. If he'd been going towards goal, then we've got another question there.
Yeah, I think the point with that one, though, just coming briefly, is yes, he may not have been going directly towards goal, but I guess the point is, if Bowen wins the ball, he's beaten the goalkeeper and he's faced, there's nobody between him and the goal. So, I mean, it's, about the best goal scoring opportunity you could possibly get in those circumstances. But, I mean, you're absolutely right. That is the law as it stands.
As the guidance to the laws say, that wouldn't be. Now, what's happened there? Like Bowen was he offside? I can't see how he was offside. He won the ball with a player behind him, but the linesman's got a trigger flag today. I mean, he gave Souček off, and I think if you got the lines out on that one a minute ago, I don't think he was, because I think the player on the far side from our point of view was playing him on, but Souček then got fouled, and then the linesman's flag went up. Now he's just given Bowen a flag. Bowen had done really well to get in front of the player and win the ball, and he was just about to lay it off, and then the flag went up. So Chelsea now are on the attack for the first time in this half. And Alonso plays the ball down to Ziyech. Cross is blocked by Dawson. It's a corner to Chelsea. 49 minutes played. And Ziyech will stay over there to take the corner. Mariner's having a quiet word with Lukaku. No idea why, but possibly old friends. Corner anyway.
It was actually, if you look just before that corner's given, though, I think it's Diop. It gives him a dig in the ribs. They're challenging the centre, and there's a definite elbow in the ribs. Yeah, it was Diop. Yeah, I think that's what that's about. But strange one.
Anyway, ball comes off Diop and goes thankfully past the post. Another Chelsea corner. It's Chelsea 6 to our 1. Corner comes across again, and that's nodded clear. And Rice completes the clearance. It's gone back. It's come back anyway, and Chelsea looking to flick it in, but Soufal takes his time, chests it down, and then launches it forward, and we can build. Now Antonio on the ball, holds it up. Well, nice turn. I think Bowen's going to be offside anyway. Yeah, I think he's given off the offside. Nice turn from Antonio. If he'd played the ball just slightly earlier, Bowen might have been through there. Let's have a look at it now. Antonio does very well there. Shields it off the player. Yeah, Bowen's just about a foot off, but wasn't a great ball from Antonio. The Chelsea player got back to put it out for a bit of throw-in, yeah.
But too late. That was the problem.
Yeah, exactly. He needed to play it slightly. Bowen was desperately trying to stay on. And I think Antonio also needed to play it slightly left to give Bowen more space to run into. Didn't happen.
Actually, from a striker's perspective, just watching Bowen's run there, he's instead of making the arc, he's just going straight ahead. Now, if he had arced his run as you talked to as a striker, especially at that level, then he would have been absolutely fine. But small margins once again, unfortunately for the Hammers.
Anyway, Souček wins a throw in. It's Soufal looking for someone to throw. It's funny when we get throw-ins, we never seem to know what to do with them. It's gone back anyway. We're still in possession. Masuaku now on the ball. Nearly gets caught in possession, but manages to play Diop back in. Diop plays it inside. Zuma gets it caught in his feet a little bit, but Plays the ball sort of back to Masuaku, more at him, but it's with Rice now. We can calm things down a little bit there. Dawson out to Sufal. Sufal way forward blocked a bit, so it's back with Dawson. And it's now back with Fabianski.
There you go. 52 minutes gone. Still, West Ham United 1, Chelsea 2. No other scores to give you at the moment because, of course, there aren't any other games taking place. Quite a few games coming at 3 o'clock this afternoon, but this is the only one for now. West Ham desperately seeking an equaliser. If we're going to get it, we're going to have to break that record of Chelsea's 7 months, as I said, without conceding 2 goals in one game. West Ham desperately need something from this one. Desperately need some points, having only taken 1 from the last 9. Doing all right so far. No, what do you make of the second half so far? I mean, we haven't really created an awful lot, but neither have Chelsea, in all truth.
Sorry, just Lukaku's just under a bit of pressure. Has just gone down and gets a pat on the backside for his troubles. What I make of it, it's fairly even first half. I mean, it's as it settles down, we're seeing Chelsea get the usual little bit more possession, but as before, it's kind of they're not looking. A nice flick in, and we didn't deal with that very well. But Declan Rice again, right place, right time, brings the ball out, storming run. He gets fouled. Come on, ref, he gets fouled. And gets a foot in there. But he was fouled there. There's no question about that. And why nothing was given, your guess is good as mine. He got clipped there on the way through. Mariner having his usual sort of, what, me? Yeah, you're the one in charge, mate. He's never seems to be the most intelligent of people, Mariner, shall we say. But good defensive play and good running out from the back from Declan. Like to see a bit more of that because they haven't got an awful lot of an answer to him when he does that. As we just saw there, I mean, it's only because he got clipped a couple of times that he got away with it. Antonio turns inside. Well played, Antonio. Nice ball out to the left to Sufal. Chests it into Bowen. Oh, that's unlucky. That's unlucky. Now Chelsea can come away. Bowen had got that ball through. We were on a break there. Chelsea now attacking on the break. Lukaku plays, not sure that he plays Ziyech, who was Rudiger rather than Lukaku's a big tall guy. Lukaku is on the right hand side there. Rudiger goes all the way through, plays it in the left to Ziyech. Don't quite know. I think he's crossing or shooting, but it goes Rosette area. But I'm just looking at Lukaku now. I mean, he's carrying a pound or two there, I think. Or is it just me?
No, I think you're definitely carrying a pound or two.
Yeah, no. Excuse me. I beg to differ at the moment. But,
yeah, no. I mean, I guess he's had a little while off, hasn't he? He's probably got to get back into full match fitness. But I mean, do you know what? I wouldn't mind carrying a pound or two if that was the outcome.
Yes, get in there. Jared Bowen, take a bow, son. And well played, Antonio, for all the stick he's getting. We were building up. Antonio kept the ball alive. It was played in. Bowen from the edge of the box, bottom left-hand corner. Oh, sweet as. Mendy's, that obviously had so much heat on it. Mendy's dousing himself with his bottle of water. Oh, let's see that again. That's beautiful. See West Ham, bit of confidence. It's a good goal as well. Antonio, lovely ball out to, I think it's Souček. Played into Antonio. He doesn't win the ball, but the ball gets picked up by Souček. Played into Bowen, who, let's have a look. And it's just cold, beautifully at the bottom. Sufal plays it into Bowen. Curls it through the legs of, and Mendy just can't pick that one out. It's that's a beaut.
It certainly is, and as I said, it's what a game, what a derby this is turning out to be. West Ham 2, Chelsea 2. I said Chelsea hadn't conceded twice in one game since a 2-1 defeat at Aston Villa on the 23rd of May. Prior to that, you have to go all the way back to the 3rd of April when they got smashed 5-2, bizarrely, by West Brom of all people.
Yeah,
But
that was an odd game, that wasn't it?
Yeah, crazy. But this could be a crazy game now. I mean, West Ham 2-2. Can we do it again? No, can we do it again? I wouldn't put it against us.
I definitely wouldn't put it against us. Chelsea went down the left there, but again, we got a block in. Bowen's having a fine match anyway. I mean, the goal's just around that at the moment. I think he's having a superb game. We're back to where we were before, in that Chelsea now possession sort of halfway inside our half, looking for to try and probe, but everyone's matched up. So and Arthur gets a foot in, doesn't quite roll to a West Ham player, but Chelsea come again. Now Arthur's it's played inside Arthur. Oh, ball played across, but nobody can get on the end of it. Arthur being caught a little bit napping there. Chelsea now ball out on the left-hand side. They're trying to work their way across, but it's gone all the way back again. Again, stout defending from West Ham. Antonio gets a foot in. Well, again, it just doesn't roll. A little bit more luck with one of these foot-ins, and we're away here. But Chelsea on the attack again. Ball played in early. And that's good goalkeeping from Fabianski. Lukaku, who, having looked at him, there definitely is a tad on the chunky side. Early ball played in. It sort of escaped Diop. Dawson sort of got half a touch on it. And got himself in between Lukaku and the ball. And Fabianski came out and smothered the ball. So good goalkeeping there, because came out and took control of the situation. Bowen on the ball now. Antonio didn't do Antonio favours there, but we keep the ball. Antonio now does a 360. He's looking for help there. He's got no help, I'll be honest. So plays it now back to Diop. Plays it through to Bowen, whose defender comes right through. Free kick to West Ham. That's Silva, who's having scored one and cleared one off the line, seems to have reverted back to his somewhat earlier inconsistent form. He's just clipped Bowen at the back there. So free kick to West Ham.
Simon Parker says it's nice to see a goal from open play. Simon, it's certainly is.
It was,
finish from Jared Bowen. And the one thing that we've been asking to see more of from Jared. Everything else has been exceptional. He's harrying, chasing, closing down, passing movement. Just the finishing was lacking, and that was a superb finish.
Now Mendy's he's got it at the second attempt. The free kick in from Lanzini. Souček headed up at the far side. Mendy came to grab it under pressure from Zuma. Dropped the ball, and I think that was Souček coming in behind, but he managed to get down on the ball. But he didn't look happy there. So I'm not. I mean, clearly Chelsea are, but I'm not convinced by Mendy on today's showing anyway. So maybe a bit of pressure on him. Anyway, we're back to our normal state of play with Chelsea playing the ball. Now they've got a man over here on the left-hand side. Crosses is driven across like you're shooting. Bowen comes back and rescues the ball. Played down the line, but Antonio slips and before he can get anywhere near that. So Chelsea will come again. Shame Antonio slipped there if he could have got over. Now ball on the right-hand side. Mount plays a ball in. Dangerous looking cross there, but Zuma is up to it, keeps the ball out.
No, were we thinking about maybe making another change right now, or do you think David Moyes is going to be quite happy with the way it's going? Just looking quickly at the West Ham bench, Benrahma, Vlasic, both players that can create things. Yarmolenko, Fornals. We've got some decent options out there today.
Corner comes across. It's headed clear. And getting balls back now. It's going all the way back to Mendy. Changes. I'm not sure I'd make any at the moment myself.
Okay.
Just pick up on that in a second. Long ball played down. Masuaku headed, blocked the ball out, but it's back with Chelsea. Changes.
Yeah, I mean, the point is David Moyes is often criticised for not being proactive and, more
Yeah,
reactive, as was the case on
yeah.
Wednesday. So he's an opportunity, maybe.
I'm not entirely sure. I mean, there sometimes there are changes for the sake of it, and I think this 11 we got out at the moment are doing okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not chasing the game by any stretch of the imagination. We're 2-2, and the tactical plan we've got as Antonio, bless him, tries to win the ball back, but he's just bundled Chelsea player over. It's not a clever challenge, that, I'm afraid, Michael. And it's a free kick to Chelsea.
Okay. Let us know what you think on the live stream. Would you make changes now? If so, who would you bring on? Let us know.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'd make any changes at the moment. Genuinely, if we're one down with a few minutes left and you're chasing the game, then yeah, sort of. But defensively, we're looking fairly sound. Although we'll wait and see what happens with this free kick, which I'm sure wasn't there. But anyway, it's played in. It's a terrible free kick. It's played in. It's just curls away, and I guess he's a little bit lucky it didn't curl away for a throw in. It's just gone out for a goal kick. It was long in, deep into the box, but deep into the box. But none of the Chelsea players had actually made the run. So, yeah.
Okay. David O'Rourke says, I'd wait until Lanzini gets tired and put 4 nails on. That's the only change I can see Moyes making.
Yeah. Chelsea are making a change now. They're bringing off Ziyech and they're bringing on Hudson-Odoi. So, second change for the visitors. It's funny, you don't see footballers smiling very much. I mean, you're being substituted. I wouldn't expect him to smile, but Hudson-Odoi just looks miserable at having been brought on, which... it's
because he plays for Chelsea. What do you expect?
Well, yeah, true, yeah. Now, West Ham pick up a loose
4
ball.
minutes gone. Still 2-2. Come on, West Ham. Let's have another goal. Let's have a winner.
Yeah. We picked up a loose ball and we've got a bit of possession now. Masuaku on the left. Oh, that again, fine margins, but if that gets through, that ball from Masuaku, Bowen's in for his second. But Chelsea come away now, and Lukaku's on the right-hand side. Plays the ball back out to Mount. Now, Mount gets a cross in, but that's headed away by Declan Rice. Bowen comes back, completes the clearance out to Antonio. Nice attempt at turn, but didn't quite come off for him. I feel for Antonio. He's going to get pelters when I look at the forum a bit later on. But that's one of those things where he did pretty much everything right, and it just didn't come off for him. What I would say about Antonio is he certainly looks a little bit more interested this half than he did in the first, perhaps.
Yeah, he is. He's much more lively, much more involved. That's clear.
Yeah. So,
no question. Steve Palmer on the live stream gnome says it's yet another goal scored when I'm away from stream. Well,
Steve, bugger off.
On your bike, son. On your bike, indeed. Off you go. No, you're going to enjoy that one later, Steve, when you see it on Match of the Day. An absolute belter from Jarrah Bowen. Fantastic finish that put West Ham level again. But we need another one. We don't want to settle for a point. Let's go and beat them. Why not?
Yeah.
Still plenty of time.
Yeah, just to let you know, it's the same sort of thing happening. Chelsea are trying to sort of build up pressure. Now maybe they get something here. They've got a run on the left. I think it's Hudson-Odoi. Plays a ball in there, but it's meat and drink there again for Fabianski. But as BT have a little bit of a mare of their own and show everything running backwards at 48 mile an hour, I think. So not quite sure what they were doing there, but that's where they kind of got a little bit in between the line a bit. Fabianski clears long, and Antonio, is he brought down there? I'm not sure that's a free kick or a West Ham throw, but Antonio looked like, really? They should have given it to Chelsea, throw to Chelsea. Antonio, it was an arm on his shoulder there to help him on his way down, but I think we're not getting anything out of Mariner this game anyway. So now Chelsea play it long for once, and Fabianski gets the ball. So it's a bit aimless there from Chelsea. Yeah, they're not that good, are they?
Well, looking at their forum, I'm amazed to see some of the stuff I'm reading, talking about them not being that good. One player that they apparently, or at least on the shedend.com, don't think is that good is the substitute Lukaku. One post called RIP Mourinho says we actually somehow look worse with our 100 million pound striker on the pitch. And who was it? SFL82 says, I've said this from the start, he's a good player, but as a team, we play better without him. And Dino says, the injury bug has ravaged us. I cannot believe how Lukaku has had zero impact since coming on. Geez, why do we need him again?
Well, they nearly played him through just as you were saying that. Now we've got a problem here now. Ball was played through for Lukaku, and Zuma was sort of tracking, and it went through to Fabianski. Zuma's just right off the pitch, and he's now down. Just watch it now.
He's pulled up. You can see. Oh, he's pulled up.
Oh yeah. No.
That's a hammy, I think, by the looks of it.
Yeah.
That's dreadful news for West Ham.
Dreadful news of it is, but he's in a lot of trouble there. Yeah,
you can see the way he pulled up straight away. It was he's in trouble.
Play will presumably recontinue because he's off the pitch. Well, I guess if anyone knows what a bad hamstring feels like, he just bent his leg up and he's just gone absolute agony. If anyone knows what bad hamstring feels like, it's going to be our physio team.
Got plenty of experience of treating them, haven't they?
Yeah, sure. we have other teams have the odd player with hamstring problems. We have epidemics of them.
Yes, we do.
Now,
this will be terrible.
That's a West Ham throw, surely. Yes, come on. Well, Fornals is warming up, so I think we're going to kind of abandon the three at the back thing. Unless,
hell for leather time. Let's go for it. Attack.
Yeah, unless of course, and here's the thing: we sometimes forget that a lot of his early games were there, but Declan could slot in. Anyway, back on the game. Antonio and Masuaku combined. Masuaku gets a cross in, but there's nobody in there. It's straight through to the keeper. So Chelsea now. Well played, Bowen. It's just a slight touch on the player, and the player, predictably goes down. Poor old Zuma's trying to walk back, and he's stopping every few yards because he's insane. That's horrible to see. Anyway, I'm not sure we've got Fornals on yet. Arthur blocks the cross but can't stop the corner. So, corner on the Chelsea right. Nolan's giving Fornals his instructions as Fornals basically has the tiniest pair of shin pads that I think I've seen ever. Very pretty pictures on them from somewhere, but they're about that big. It's sort of like, I guess they fulfil the rules, but yeah. Anyway, Chelsea corner as Fornals comes on. He's issuing instructions.
Hobo, I can confirm. Yes, it was Zuma who pulled up. Hobo's asking if it was Zuma who was injured. Yes, it was. Unfortunately,
Mount takes the corner, outswinger to the edge of the box. Partially clear. Bowen's trying to finish the clearance. He's out on the touchline. Tries to play, flicks over a Chelsea player, and it's back with there. And Bowen's tried to get a tackle in, and he's been penalised for that. He didn't take the ball. But everyone's. Let's have a look. See if he did take the ball. Everyone's looking amazed at it. I can't see why we're complaining about that. That's just that's a free kick. Can't say I really. I mean, you kind of expect Bowen to look a bit nonplussed because he's the one who's perpetrated the foul. But when you see another player like Sufo was looking very shocked, you think, oh, maybe there's something in it. When I look at it, no, it's a free kick. Now, dangerous position, obviously. Ball whipped in. Dawson heads away. partial shot in, but it's blocked. Good play here. Now Fornals can bring it out. Fornals going down the left wing. He's looking for support, but while he was looking for support, he was caught up by Mount and puts it out for a throw into West Ham. Promising there, a little bit quicker on the ball there. Chelsea making another change. Alonso's coming off, and Pulisic is on. Number 10 there. So that's their third change, isn't it? Right.
Yep, Havertz replaced by Lukaku at half-time. Hudson-Odoi on for Ziyech on 64 minutes. And, Pulisic coming on there in 72nd. 3 changes for Chelsea.
So, so we've got about 17 minutes left, 16 minutes left. So Chelsea clearly think that's something that will advantage them. This has been a lot more... they had the possession stats up earlier on, and I think it gone from we had 46% possession earlier on at one point in the second half, which clearly is a lot more even. Christensen just gets caught offside there, and well, from that's offside. It may have curled out. They've given a throw in anyway. Arthur and his unfeasibly weird beard will take the throw in. And that's, again, American football analogy. Chelsea headed straight back out. So it's we gained 10 yards on that one, 1st and 10. And,
just waiting for something to happen there. I'll bring you the current match stats. West Ham, 36% possession. Chelsea, 64. West Ham, 8 shots, 4 on target. Chelsea, 14 shots, 7 on target. But, of course, the only stat that really matters, West Ham United 2, Chelsea 2. And we've got about, 15 and a half minutes to go, known by your clock?
Well, actually, just look at this. About 17. 16 or so. So just keep an eye on the game for a second. We played 74 minutes now, in case you're wondering. Now, Antonio nods back to Bowen, plays into Fornals. Antonio's ball play to him, forced wide. Oh, we should be 3-2 up. Antonio does very well, gets the ball across. And what did I say the other week? It's another one of those where if Bowen's a few inches taller, we're 3-2 up. Nice little play. Antonio does superbly well to get the ball. Plays the ball across Bowen's at the stretch. If he gets on the end of that, we're 3-2 up.
Big chance for West Ham. Big chance. Almost Gascoigne-esque, that one. And for those of you who remember the semi-final of the Euro 96. But great work by Antonio. Does really well at struggle for his man. Also, some good work from Fornals involved in the build-up there. Just come on the pitch.
Great play from Bowen there. He's got the ball on the right wing, keeps possession. He's fouled there. And, that's a stupid foul from Rudiger. It really is. I mean, it must annoy you when that happens, when you see players like that do that, because Bowen's kept possession. He's not going anywhere. But, at the end of the day, it's been fouled. Sorry, I'm just going to plug my phone in there. I've just realised that I might have the same thing happen to me the other night and suddenly disappear very quickly. So, free kick on the right-hand side. And as you'll be pleased, my phone's in. Bowen drills it in low, but that's not a good free kick. But it comes back out to Bowen again. Plays it back. Soufal looks to cross, but he plays it back out to Bowen. Bowen gets the cross in now. And Souček challenges Mendy, but Mendy just about hangs on to it. So let's try and get this straight as well. Damn thing. I've messed up all my angles there. So if I go like that, it'll probably look great. Good little spell for West Ham there. As I say, it really should be 3-2 up. Souček puts in a half challenge, but doesn't come away with the ball, and Chelsea can move forward.
I guess we should perhaps be grateful, given the circumstances, that Bowen didn't stretch a hamstring when
Yeah, true.
trying to get his foot around that ball, really. But
yeah.
it's been one of those days, isn't it? Unfortunately,
Yeah.
so far. Hope Kurt Zouma's okay.
Yeah. Right, here we go.
You're right. You're back on now.
Yeah, I'm back on. Sorry about that.
We got you in the centre. We got you nice and straight. You're all good.
Dangerous. Pulls the ball back to the edge of the box. Oh, now it was a low shot. It seemed to take two little deflections. That's Jorginho. Let's have a look at this from behind. It's pulled right back to the edge of the box. Lanzini gets something on it. And I think that's Diop. Yeah, Diop just gets a little touch on it, just puts it wide. I think Lanzini might have, Fabianski might have saved the shot, but corner to Chelsea on the right. Mount, again, outswinger towards the penalty area. It's all headed back. Dawson manages to clear just. Mount gets another cross in, but it's blocked. Antonio heads clear. Now, Fornals couldn't quite get on it, but again, Chelsea, Mount tried to get things going again. Oh, we've got a player down in the box.
Happy days.
And that's Soufal's down, clutching. He's down. I think he's complaining that he was fouled there, and Mariner's sort of saying, having a word with him and all that. But it's not something I like to see. I think that might have been a bit tactical from Soufal. It's something that annoys me when I see the opposition do it. And but I mean, at the end of the day, it sort of broke up play a little bit. But I didn't see the foul in there, but it was obviously you got 20 odd players in there. It's a bit mayhem. So it'll be a drop ball. It'll be dropped to presumably Chelsea feet. And Mariner does like putting his arm around players, doesn't he?
He does. He does.
Yeah. So he's sending Fornals away from the drop ball, and he's now dropped and we're back in play. So yeah, I think shrewd there is not something I'm a great fan of, I'll be honest, but shrewd from Soufal there. Now Chelsea attacking down the left. Cross comes in. Arthur manages to get head on. All heads going up. Lanzini's got it now. Flicks it out to the right. Bowen just can't. If that had gone for Bowen again, we might have had an interesting break on. There's lots of little things that aren't quite running for us. It's been happening all evening or all morning rather. Now Mount gets goal side again, blocked by Souček. Good defending there. Bowen's now helping out with defensive work. Not a great clearance though. If that was Frantonio, he gave Antonio absolutely no chance for that one. And Chelsea come back on. Something I've said a lot in the past, we've got to hold on to the ball a bit better when we have got it, when we're clearing it. Chelsea ball played in. Lukaku tries to feed. Ball's played out wide now. It's looped up to the edge of the box. Loftus-Cheek is there, but no, it didn't go out, did it? Everyone thought it had gone out, and referee waving play on. Another cross in, and that's just headed harmlessly over the bar for a West Ham goal kick. When we've got the ball, and I know Antonio sometimes doesn't hold on to the ball as well as you might expect. But that was a good little turn from Mount there. Just seeing what happened, but Soufal does very well. Soufal's fouled there. Mount brings Soufal down, just hauls him down. We didn't get the free kick. Thankfully, nothing came of it. But 10 minutes left to play. 2-2. I have to say, actually, this has turned into quite a good game. Earlier on, it was interesting rather than good. But as the goals have gone in, it's opened up a little bit. And it's one of these games that when I look back on it, having sort of not being worried about the outcome, I think I'll say it's an enjoyable game. Chelsea on the attack again now. Defending a little bit deep here. Ball tried to be played into the box. Again, Declan Rice puts his foot in. But come West Ham, work. Ball in West Ham half, 15 yards inside the West Ham half. Chelsea looking sort of to try and probe. Some good little play there, but West Ham again break it up. Now Bowen takes it away, and that'll be out for a West Ham throw. Good play from Bowen there. He's taking it away. there was no way he could find Antonio. He was the only play forward of him. So tries to play it past, I think it's Rudiger, who's, well, he's gone in studs up. Thankfully, Bowen's far enough away for that not to be an issue. But Bowen had got a little bit nearer. That might have been a nasty little challenge. But Mariner might have had some thinking to do. We've just seen a shot of Ben Rama, who's being given instruction from Nolan. So we expect to see him on there. Now,
that's an interesting move from David Moyes, because that might suggest that we are looking to go and snatch a win. I mean, you certainly don't put Said Benrahma onto the pitch if you're looking to just hold tight for the the remaining few minutes. So nice to see. Nice to see.
Yeah, I thought Antonio. Oh well. Now everybody's hands going up there, and I think that's going to be a goal kick. Well played after there. He's done well there. I thought Antonio got caught there. Let's just have a look at this. That's well played, Arthur. He's got a touch on it and he's flicked it off Mount. It's one of those ones you can tell it's a goal kick because Mount's guiltily put his hand up, hoping to get the corner. So Antonio went down just a second ago. I thought it was clipped, but he stayed down for a long while there. We've not seen. I think they may be waiting to see how he is. The substitution's not on. Lanzini clears long from the goal kick. Fornals nearly again broke through. Now we can go down. Bowen now. Left-hand side, just outside the box. He's trying to get into the box. Does so. I guess a corner, I think. Or has it come off Bowen? I think it might come off Bowen there. Bowen looking a little bit nonplussed, but I think that might be, again, similar to the Mount one. Yeah. Did come off Bowen. A bit unlucky, but good little move there from Bowen. Good running. Now, Rice picks up the ball on the halfway line. Cool. Antonio, he's up again now. Turns, plays a lovely ball inside the fullback. Yeah, Soufal gets it. Now, Soufal gets the byline, tries to get across him, but it's blocked. Oh, good play from Antonio there. Nice little ball. Ball goes out now for a throw-in to West Ham. And just begin to build a little bit of pressure here with 6 minutes and 5 seconds if you're counting. Now, we don't do much from the throw-in, and it's cleared long from Chelsea, but it's cleared long for a throw-in on the halfway line to West Ham. Now, Benrahma's had instructions from Nolan. He's had instructions from Moyes. So he's had Scouse and Scottish accents to deal with. Lanzini's the one coming off. Lanzini's not had a bad game at all, I think. And he's got a big grin on his face, and as he makes a detour to shake hands with Mariner, and Mariner's not impressed and tells him that's the way to the bench. But I think Lanzini's had okay. He's not dominated the game, but this is the sort of game where, he's getting decent applause by the looks of things from the crowd. So Benrahma on for Lanzini. So sort of like for like, but we may need Benrahma to do a little bit more of the hard work. And Benrahma's got a piece of paper that he's handing to Rice. A message from
Mrs. Rice. Tell him his dinner's in the oven. Hurry up. Yeah. Hurry up, son. That's West Ham United's third substitution of the day. Benrahma replacing Lanzini on 85 minutes there. Fornals has already replaced Zuma on 71 minutes. And who was our other change? Masuaku, of course. Johnson, just on the stroke at half time. No. Yeah,
lovely throw-in. Found Bowen down on the byline. He cut back nicely. Got a beautiful chip crossing, but it's just too far for Antonio. Great position we got into there. Rice has shouted over and waved at the bench to confirm what the note was. So I'm just trying to see where he's gone. It may be. I think Rice seems to have dropped back, and we've gone back to the back three again. I think Rice is definitely I thought that might be the change.
Signal to 5. Yeah, you signalled back 5.
Yeah. So. So it's all happening, isn't it?
It's a good game. It's a really, really good game, this. And, it could still go either way. It really could. West Ham
now,
chances.
Just not enough on the ball there for Antonio. But that was a good little bit of play. First time ball. And Antonio nearly got in. Now, Antonio and Masuaku combine. Masuaku looking for help. Masuaku. Oh, yes! It's a freak goal, but it's in. Oh, pick that one out, Mendy. Arthur Masuaku. I'm calling that mishit cross now. I'm calling that one now. But I don't care. Oh.
of all the people, can you believe it? Arthur Masuaku on as a substitute, wasn't even playing today. And I know that's not a freak cross. He's just done Mendy there. He sold him one. What a finish. What a last few minutes is going to be here.
Oh, yes. I mean, I'm sorry. I have to laugh. Look at Masuaku's face when it goes in.
He's looking the other way.
Yeah. When it goes in, Arthur's face, he goes like this. Yeah, like he planned it all along. Mendy has had better afternoons, I think it's fair to say.
He's had a shocker there. I mean, you talk about Fabianski getting beaten at his near post. I mean, that's just a little floater in the air anyone could catch. He's so slow getting across. I still can't understand it having watched the replay. But anyway, we'll take it. It's West Ham United 3, Chelsea 2. Close, so close to beating the Blues again in second and, well, condemning them to their first defeat since Man City. And how long it is since they've conceded 3 goals, I don't know. But I'm sure we can find out at some point. But here we go. It's going to be a barnstormer of a final few minutes for West Ham. Look for about 8 minutes added on at this rate.
Well... I'm kind of hoping not. I mean, now Antonio's got goal side and the flag stays down. He's out the right-hand side of the box, tries to play Benrahma in, doesn't get there, comes back to him. He's ball's played into Benrahma now. Now Antonio plays the ball into Bowen. Bowen's looking. Bowen lifts the ball over. He tries to curl it into the top, the far corner, but good bit of play from West Ham. Antonio at the centre of it. Bowen, I think he's going to be. Would have been on. Yeah, he would have been onside. Try to curl it. I think Benrahma might have been the better option there. A square ball to Benrahma. We're in the final minute of normal time now. Lukaku tries to turn Dawson. Dawson's cleverly not having that and gets a foot in. Benrahma now. He's taken out there and. Loftus-Cheek doesn't look impressed, but it's a foul, and that'll run the clock down a little bit more. Now, I don't want to worry you, but Bowen's hobbling. It's definitely physios are earning their corn today anyway, I think. But
well, we're getting close. It's
20 seconds of normal time to go, and.
Any indication yet of added on time?
They haven't shown anything yet. It normally comes up as soon as the 90 flick.
As for Bowen, I'm guessing that's a little bit tactical. I don't think it's hurt.
I reckon 4. I don't think it should be 4. I think 3 would be the right one, but 4 it is. There you go. Now Antonio got the ball down by the corner flag. He's kicked. He kicks the ball in. He's kicked again. That'll be a free kick to West Ham.
There's a lovely moment just coming in there when they've just shown the live league table where Chelsea, about half an hour ago, would have been 12 points clear at West Ham. Live league table showing that there's currently only 6 points difference, which is a huge swing, shall we say, but not over yet. Still a long way to go.
Yeah, now Chelsea obviously got the last 4 minutes and they're going to throw everything at us at the moment. Sufo, I think that was picked up a booking. Just stuck a leg in, and Mariner brings out the book. But it's not in dangerous territory. Chelsea now on the ball, played out wide, and now sort of half beat Masuaku, and Souček came across to complete the clearance, and he just got taken out. Free kick to West Ham, and that's a stupid foul. That really is a stupid foul from Chelsea. They've done a lot of that today. Players going nowhere, and taking them out. But Yeah, not complaining at all. Keep doing it, lads. I haven't got the sound up, but you can see the place is rocking. People are jumping up and down, and but James basically just it was Reece James who was looking surprised, but I don't know why. I mean, why do it? Glad you did, but why?
Yeah. Yeah, the crowd is bouncing. You can clearly see that. Not a good one to miss, Gnome, this one, you'd have to say.
Yeah, thanks.
You've not picked a good one today.
Thanks. But, I mean, I'm as I say, I will admit I'm still not 100% fit, genuinely. But it, well, people say I should stay away more often. What I would say is I'll come back to that in a second. Chelsea sort of again pressing, and James now plays the ball down to Mount. Mount gets a cross in. There's Chelsea head on the end of it, but it's headed wide, but they're still pressing. We've got a minute and a half left. Chelsea plays the ball in. Rice does superbly well there again. Comes around the ball and plays it long, obviously.
There's a lovely moment there, no?
Yeah.
Where I've just seen a replay on the broadcast I've got here of Masuaku's goal, and the camera pans to the fans behind the goal, and the look of surprise is almost as obvious as the look of joy on all the fans' faces. It's wonderful. I hope you get to see it. But anyway, back to the live action. Last minute, West Ham hanging on.
Yeah, last minute, a long ball played. Antonio and Benrahma both going for it. Antonio was going to get on it, and Christensen's just clipped him on the back of the leg. Yellow card, deservedly so, because Antonio's going to get that ball, and Mariner's smiling because he gets to issue a yellow card. You know, it's a yellow, but don't enjoy it so much. We're in the last 30 seconds of the 4 added on. There may be a little bit extra on top of that, but
looking good.
Yeah, I mean, we got a free kick anyway, which is I get 2/3 in the way of the Chelsea half, I think. Masuaku's on it. Just before that, Masuaku did very well in winning the ball back and plays it short to Antonio. Bit of keep ball going on. Played round the corner, but we don't keep the ball there. We're now in added time. Come on, Mariner.
Come on, referee. Let's have that final whistle.
All right. Rice is on the ball. Hoofs it long and out into the crowd. Come on. 20 seconds extra being played now of the 94.
That must be it.
I think he's going to wait until the throw-in's taken, just because people are holding on to the ball as usual in the crowd, which is a bit pointless. But ball's thrown in. Mariner looks at his watch yet again, whistles at his mouth. Yes! Well played, West Ham. Well played. I'll never understand this game, you know. But well played, guys.
I'd like to say I'm surprised, but I'm not at all. I'm not surprised at all.
I mean, I did call it.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's. Let's just have a quick listen to the final whistle.
Oh, you're going to enjoy that forum you've got to look at.
There you go. Moyes' boys do the business. The final whistle has blown at the London Olympic Stadium. It has finished. West Ham United 3, Chelsea 2. The Hammers do it again. Can't beat Wolves. Can't beat Brighton. But there you go. The team that's top of the Premier League, not running away with it, but, you know, been absolutely fantastic this season. Come undone at the London Olympic Stadium to David Moyes' West Ham. Behind twice, but showing such spirit to come back and take all 3 points. Silva scoring the opening goal for Chelsea. Lanzini equalising from the penalty spot. Ziyech, it was Mount, not Ziyech. The Ziyech was the cross. The provider, Mount, putting Chelsea ahead just before the half-time break. Jarrod Bowen scoring a fantastic effort 11 minutes into the second half. And then Arthur Masuaku, of all people, who would have predicted it? I'd love to know what the odds are on him getting the winner in a 5-goal thriller. Let us know. And if you had a few quid on it, I bet your quid's in right now. Arthur Masuaku scoring. Some say it was a miss-hit cross. I'll tell you what, he's never going to admit it. But 87 minutes on the clock. That was the final goal. West Ham, 3 points. The Pink Palermo's joined us. He's going to be absolutely euphoric when he comes on. But no, your instant post-match thoughts.
Splendid performance. I thought tactically, Moyes had it spot on.
Yep.
We dealt with going behind brilliantly. Strong performances all over the pitch. Antonio didn't play well first half. I thought it was a lot better second half, even though things perhaps still didn't come off for him as they might. But we've deserved the win. Kind of freakish, but I'll have that all day. No, I'm just over. I mean, literally over the moon. Well, not literally, obviously, because I'm here on planet Earth, but figuratively speaking, over the moon. There you go. You couldn't ask for any more. The hard work that went into that game was just something else. I think. You could see players coming off. Look, I don't think there's anybody on there you'd say didn't put in a shift. And no doubt the form will probably prove me wrong when I go to look at it. But let's just enjoy this. It's we've lost one, drawn one, and won one in the last three. So that's 4 points out of the 9. Bearing in mind Manchester City was one of those. You'd have probably taken that, but not in that order. You'd probably taken a win against Brighton and a draw against Chelsea, wouldn't you?
Certainly would.
As I say, Pinky's not going to enjoy this, but I thought Diop had a good game. Maybe he works better as part of the 3. And the guy they're just showing Souček now has found somebody, presumably a Czech hammer, has found somebody with the Czech flag there, and he looks a bit Czech. And he's finding his mates there. They're bringing somebody forward as well. And Souček's posing for a selfie with his mates there and a Czech flag. So somebody's taken a photograph, and Souček has got somebody's phone in his hand as well. So brilliant though, absolutely brilliant. Chelsea will feel hard done by the manner of the victory, but sort of basically all I've got to say
Fair
about
enough.
that.
Can't argue with that. Can't argue with that at all. There's a lovely moment. Just seen Declan Rice parading around the ground, clearly absolutely delighted at having beat Chelsea. And I tell you what, when he gets home tonight and gets on the phone to his mate Mason Mount, that's a conversation you'd love to hear, isn't it? In terms
How's
of
your afternoon, Mason?
in terms of having bragging rights.
Souček was running along. Souček running along the crowd, and he's just sort of low fiving everybody in the crowd as he's going back. So he's happy bunny anyway.
You're right.
As am I.
He should be. Yeah. A couple of comments for you coming through on social media. Statman Dave says West Ham are responsible for 33% of the goals Chelsea have conceded in the Premier League this season, and 60% of the goals they've conceded on the road. It just gives you some idea of what an incredible performance that was. As we said, Chelsea prior to today conceded only 6 goals in the Premier League. They've conceded half as many again in the space of 47 minutes actually. If you take it from Lanzini's penalty to Masuaku's goal. Anton Ferdinand, big West Ham man, he's already taken to Twitter to say, I'm not having it. We are massive. The gaffer has to take credit. Changed a few things at halftime, and the second half was a completely different game. We'll come to that in just a minute, talking about Moisey. And also, we've got to point it out, Manchester United, Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea, top 4 of the Premier League, Europa League last 16. We've beat them all. And here we are. We're not even at Christmas now. Amazing stuff. If only we could beat Brighton and Wolves, we would be, not just massive, but I don't know, out of this stratosphere.
If the Premier League had done their thing, and deducted points from the so-called Super League 6, we'd probably be top.
It's amazing.
They're just showing the Masuaku goal here. And they put a little thing on there showing he had an angle of 5 degrees to get that ball in.
I know we laughed at it at the time. I'm not so sure he didn't mean that, because if you watch it again, it does take a little look up first of all, and I'm not sure he's looking at the centre. I think he's looking at the space in the corner. We're never going to know the truth, but I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure that was a complete fluff. I mean, it's the sort of thing that Masuaku would try. Let's be honest. He's that kind of player. On another note, we've got to say, I'm so pleased for him, because he's really taken so much stick lately, and been heavily criticised by me and others for the 2 goals at Man City and against Brighton. I'm just so pleased to see him come out and do that. And it's almost the only other goal I can think of like that was Konchesky's in the cup final.
It's exactly what I was thinking of. Yeah, I've just sort of I've got Jared Bowen on now at the moment. I've got it up on with subtitles, so I don't have to go mute. Bowen's got you can imagine the grin that Bowen's got on his face, he's just been saying stuff that we never know when we're beaten. I've had chances that I haven't scored recently, so it's good for me to get the goal, and I was absolutely buzzing. And it's just the interview was saying, well, you came back twice now. You're behind twice, which is true. It's something I haven't thought about. Twice we've been behind the league leaders and beaten them. So
I just pointed it out. Were you not listening to me a minute ago?
Yeah, what do I listen to you? But no, I'm just trying to paraphrase the interview at the same time. It's just been asked if there were any major changes at half time. And he said, well, just a bit more of the same. We just got slightly more aggressive at them in the pressing, and we were trying to limit their kind of game plan. So we just tried to do it a bit more, I think. And he said, me up top and me and Mickey, we needed to be the first line of that. And it went through the whole team. Bowen said, so morale, it's massive for morale. We hadn't won in 4 games, so to come back and beat Chelsea with a great performance, it's massive. Yeah. I have to say, I mean, we were talking about Arthur there. I thought he did play well when he came on.
Yeah, he did.
Notwithstanding the goal and whatever your views on that, I just think it was. I think Chelsea are kind of the sort of team that you need to play him against as well, because they haven't got anybody who's kind of like an out-and-out winger who's going to take him on or anything like that. It's more a case of he just needs to be. He just got in position well, and I think he got caught slightly out of position once, but even then he got back well, and But yeah, I mean the goal. Well, I'd love to hear what Pinky's going to say about that if he's coming on.
Well, he was here a few minutes ago, but it looks like he's unable to get a connection because he's disappeared again, which is a shame. But we'll hopefully get Pinky on at some point. I mean, looking at this game, it's quite an incredible result. No Angelo Ogbonna, no Kurt Zuma for much of the second half. a central defensive pairing of Dawson and Diop, who apparently is that poor that he shouldn't be playing any Premier League games. Arthur Masuaku, who's taken more stick than any other player in that squad, playing out there. Declan Rice sitting at the centre, for the last 10 minutes in at centre half for when we went to 5 at the back. And here we are beating Chelsea. But this is the thing, though. I mean, my reactions might have appeared a little muted today, but it's not because I'm not absolutely loving what I've seen. It's because I'm not surprised at all. Having seen it, and we've done it year in, year out. This is just West Ham United, isn't it? To not beat Wolves, to not beat Brighton, and then to put in performances like that against Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City as well. It's just so West Ham, and then especially, with a depleted squad. But let's look at that quickly, because without wanting to put a damper on what's happened today, if Kurt Zuma's out for a while, that's a real issue and of course Ben Johnson, who's the most versatile defender in the squad at the moment. Big problems for Moisey there looking ahead.
Yeah, we've got two definitely two key players there. I mean, I guess Johnson, we've got a bit more cover for because you've got Crest. I mean, he was playing right ahead of Soufal. Well, Soufal can play there. That's no problem. And we've got Cresswell to come back on the left. But so Johnson's kind of less of the loss. And I don't mean that in a disparaging way to Johnson.
No, of course.
But with Ogbonna out, we excuse me, sorry, our central defensive lineup was basically centred, if you pardon the pun, on having Zuma there and fitting people round him. Even if you have a three, you need you wanted Zuma as your sort of kingpin in there, and that is going to be I mean, he's I thought he's been having a fine season, and it's been. I think the last time I saw anybody as distraught as being injured was possibly you mentioned it before, Gaza, when he did his knee that time.
Yeah, in the semi-final. Yeah,
self-inflicted though that was.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So,
well, look,
I'm just laughing at something I've seen on the forum, which I'll take you through later.
We'll come to that in a minute because you're going to enjoy. You're going to love what the Chelsea fans are saying.
Oh, yeah.
I can assure you on the
I'm
shed
looking
end.
forward to this.
Let's just take a quick journey back through the game. Have a quick look at the goals. The opening goal arrived after 29 minutes. Silva, who had made a couple of really, as I said before, uncharacteristic errors, giving the ball away in dangerous areas, lost Michail Antonio. Chelsea had a corner. We put it out for another corner. And this one they converted. Michail Antonio, you happy that he was at fault really for losing his man there?
Yeah.
Well, not happy, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, typical forward who's not a defender, really. It's. I mean, well, you know me, I'm not the shortest, but I was always the one they left up top when we had a corner because, I'm not going to mark a centre half out of the game, but something he needs to work on. I think Moyes will be having a word with him on that. If we want you back there because you can do a job there, but you've got to concentrate, and it was just total lack of concentration, really.
Yeah.
I mean,
poor start.
Yeah.
We'd done all right until that point as well, hadn't we? It was really even, and then we sort of let ourselves down. But we weren't behind for long. Only 11 minutes to be precise. It was Jarrod Bowen who tried to nick the ball off of Mendy. Mendy had a funny game altogether. Even to that point, he hadn't looked particularly confident. Tripped Bowen, and then up steps Lanzini. We've been crying out for a penalty taker. Is Lanzini our man?
He has taken them in the past on the pitch. I'm trying to remember years ago. There must have been a game when Nova wasn't in, but I'm sure he's taken penalties in the past and taken them confidently. So, when I saw it was him taking it, I thought, it's a penalty taker. He does take them. So I think I said it. He does take a penalty. So
and a good strike as well. Really good finish.
Yeah. So definite penalty. Mendy had an absolute mare. I'm going to break. Well, I won't break off. Mendy, terrible goalkeeping. I've got Thomas Tuchel now on the thing. Face like thunder, and he's saying, yes, I don't think we did bad. It was an okay match. We can win with this performance even. Here it is tough to play here. We did too many individual mistakes today. Mendy, I'd suggest. We did already against Manchester United and we did already against Watford. Today we got punished for it. And if you want to have a result at this kind of level, you have to minimise the mistakes. We talked about it beforehand, which obviously didn't help stop. Sorry, the teletext guy is been a bit slow here. So, but we'll come to this later when I'm summing up the game. But
all right. Okay, so where were we? Yeah, so 1-1. Lanzini levelling from the spot 11 minutes after Silva put Chelsea ahead, but West Ham unable to keep Chelsea out at the other end until half time. 44 minutes on the clock when Mason Mount. I mean, it was a West Ham again giving the ball away. Declan Rice conceding possession on the halfway line. Ziyech getting away down the left-hand side. A really nice cross field pass to Mount on the opposite side of the penalty area. And Mount without a second thought. Crisp volley, low to the left of Lucas Fabianski. Great finish, you've got to say. But was Fabianski a little bit at fault there?
It was his near post, but it was a good finish. I think the problem you've got is if the one player who should be, who might have been marking Mount, who might have either cut out the ball to him or at least, sort of blocked any effort at shot or anything, is hobbling further up the pitch, desperately trying to get back. You're in a bit of a desperate situation. You could say Fabianski left too big a gap at the near post. I just think it was a good finish, to be honest. I think I'd give Mount more credit than demerit Fabianski on that one.
I tend to agree with you on that one. I think it was just a really, really good finish. And I think sometimes you've got to hold your hands up, haven't you, and say, full credit to the opposition. But 2-1 at half time anyway, Chelsea leading. And then, of course, the comeback began. 56 minutes. Michail Antonio did really, really well to collect a pass, which he touched down for Jarrod Bowen. And Bowen, who a lot of people have been really critical of his finishing this season and saying something, that's the missing, almost like the missing link in his game to becoming a really top-class Premier League player, finished with, you've got to say, aplomb. No, an absolutely fantastic strike into the bottom right-hand corner of Mendy's net to make it 2-2.
Yes, that wonderful Ron manager word, aplomb. Yeah, it was a fine finish through the legs of the defender, but no chance really for Mendy there. And brilliant finish. And I think we said at the time, let's go for this. Let's get a winner. And but it was a great finish. Antonio did a lot of hard work in there. We said it during commentary there that Antonio didn't have the greatest of first half. Second half, again, not everything came off for him by a long chalk, but there was kind of a little bit more of a spark about him. It wasn't. There was the second half. There was more an attitude of, well, that didn't work. Let's go again and see what we can get to work, as opposed to he looked a bit despondent when things didn't run from the first half. So he did improve second half, as I say. I haven't looked at any comments on the forum about Antonio yet. He was getting sort of a lot of stick earlier on, but I thought he improved second half no end. And you had both Antonio and Bowen making it difficult for the Chelsea defence. Like Man City, when you play them, you're going to concede a lot of possession. And it's making that defence, making the midfield work hard. If they want to keep their possession, they're going to have to work hard or just keep possession in non-threatening areas. And I thought we did that pretty well all the way through the game. Definitely second half. A number of times you saw a player go forward and then stop and look at it, go sideways, then back. And because everyone was working their socks off to make sure that couldn't happen. But great goal from Bowen. Well, let's say fine goal from Bowen, who had a fine game. Yep.
And then, 87 minutes on the clock, and nobody. If you could have predicted this, then I guess we'd like you to give us next week's lottery numbers, because who would have thunk it? Arthur Masuaku only on the pitch as a replacement for the stricken Ben Johnson right at the end of the first half. Broke away down the left-hand side, looked up. What was it? Known 5% gap, was it? 5-degree angle? Yeah, you said?
They put the angle up on there. He said, look, if he's aiming for that, he's got 5%. And I think that when he hit it, the ball did actually start to swing away a little bit, but it went back. And Mendy had taken one step the wrong way. And, it just had no chance. We got David Moyes on, and David Moyes, truthfully, I didn't think we played that well today, but we got, there's other games. we played better in other games, not quite got the goals. Today we got the goals to go with it. We didn't concede many. All praise to the lads. I thought we were too passive and submissive in the first half and didn't really get going. I wouldn't say we didn't try to close them. We did, but they are quality, and that's why they're the European champions, because of the level they can play. Whether you press them or stay off them, they're very good at both. It's just been asked about the winner. I just said to Arthur, it was a great cross. And sorry, it's just, again, subtitles, guys, catching up. We lost the goal in the last couple of minutes the other night. The goal was very fortunate. Let's not get ourselves on, but you need it, and sometimes we got it back. We had some brilliant individual performances, but I think overall I wanted Arthur to play much better, and I think we can. The good thing is we can beat Chelsea and say we're not playing well, So hopefully that helps us. And also we had to recover from mistakes, but then the subtitles stopped. We're talking about the corner goal now. We're normally pretty good at defending set pieces, so I didn't like it at the time. And because it's something we've been pretty good at sorting out. We'll look at it and see what we can do better. So that's that word with Antonio I was suggesting. Chelsea are good at set pieces as well. They've got the right to try and score a goal, and we've got to try and defend it. Jared Bowen came into himself. This is the level he should be playing at. He should have scored a great goal. Maybe he should have scored at the other one. He was sort of bending it in at the far side when he was through. He nearly took the front. He took the front line and gave us a new dimension up front. So he did much better. They're now talking about Johnson and Zuma. We played Brighton in midweek. They had 3 players who went off with injuries. We've had the same today. I know we're mad for the football, and everybody is, but we have to be careful with players, how we do it at the moment. It's tough, but that's the league we're in. I've said a few times I want to try and compete with whoever is at the top 4. Chelsea and Liverpool probably will always be in the top 4. We're giving them a game in at the top 4. We don't want them to think it'll be an easy game against us. But for us, try to be consistent, hang on, keep on the shirt tails of the teams above us, then see what we can do. There, that's David Moyes, and who, as Joe Coates just saying as well, and I think quite right, deserves as much credit as the players today, because I thought tactically, I said earlier on, spot on.
Yeah, no question. We'll come to that in a minute because obviously we spoke earlier about Moyes' changes. We'll come on to that. A few stats for you now. Obviously, we'll begin by looking at the final match stats. Possession, West Ham 36% to Chelsea 64%. West Ham 11 shots at goal, 5 on target. Chelsea 19 shots, 7 on target. Only one corner for West Ham today. 9 for Chelsea. The XG stat, Gnome's favourite, the one he's always waiting for. West Ham 1.84 to Chelsea's 1.13. There's a few other statistics for you. Jared Bowen's game by numbers today: 21 successful passes, 10 ball recoveries, which is quite astonishing actually. 4 fouls, 1, 4 crosses, 4 shots, 2 big chances, and 1 goal. Absolutely outstanding. Michail Antonio created 4 chances today. In total, that means he's now created 29 chances in the Premier League this season and across the whole of Europe's top 5 leagues. No player has created more chances from the centre-forward position. It puts him level with Karim Benzema, which is some statistic. West Ham, another little stat for you. West Ham have now won 3 top-flight games in 2021 against teams starting the day in the top 3 positions in the league table. Their most such wins in a calendar year since 1983, which is pretty damn impressive. Chelsea's loss today was their first Premier League defeat after leading at half-time since... Have a guess, no? When was the last time Chelsea lost after leading at half-time? How long ago do you reckon?
April 2019.
Well, you're actually not far out. It was December 2018. So you're only 4 months out. They were losing against Wolves under Sarri, Maurizio Sarri, and went on to lose. Prior to that, They'd been unbeaten in 48 league games, went ahead at half-time before playing West Ham today. So, you know, the more you look into this, the more you see what an outstanding achievement this has been by West Ham to beat Chelsea today. Of course, Chelsea, the current Champions League, the Kings of Europe, Premier League leaders. I mentioned a little while ago that at some point the live league table put Chelsea 12 points ahead of West Ham. Not the case now. They're now just 6 points ahead. Chelsea top of the table, 33 points from 15 games. Man City and Liverpool both have a game to play, 32 and 31 points respectively. And now West Ham, fourth in the Premier League with 27 points from 15 games, 4 points ahead of fifth place Arsenal. And that lets me nicely bring Rio in. Rio is, look at the smile on that face. That's a happy, happy man right there walking away from the London Stadium. Rio, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
I hope you can hear me.
We can.
Is it coming through here?
Beautiful,
Yeah,
perfectly. Loud and clear.
You can hear me or not, mate?
Loud and clear.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that was all right, wasn't it? That was all right.
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah, that's all I can say.
Well,
I'm marginally happy.
Yeah.
I can pick holes in things, but I'm not going to pick holes in things at the moment. I'm just absolutely delighted. I did call it half time. I sent my son a message at half time saying next goal wins. I thought we missed a trick by not starting 4-0. So I thought his pressing would have made a huge difference because they are vulnerable on the press.
Yep.
You get at them, they're there to be beaten. But I mean, what a way to win it. The much maligned, to be feared. Unbelievable, isn't it? Unbelievable.
Well, look. Talk to me about this. Let's have a chat. We've talked about it, Rio. We can't work it out. I've got a feeling he meant it, and I'm sure he won't deny it. But when you see it on TV, you see the replay. Just before he strikes the ball, he does take a look towards that corner that's slightly unguarded by Mendy. What was your view of it from the stadium?
Because we sit kind of looking to that corner on the right-hand side. I just thought we'd missed a trick. I thought get the ball over early, but I don't think he meant it. But I'm not going to deny him his moment of glory because it's just a majestic moment. It's what supporting West Ham is all about, you know. Putting a spoke in the wheels of teams like that. And bless him, Arthur, when he come on, he looked like he's been personally coached by David Moyes for the whole second half. Moyes was in his ear all the time. And I'm not 100% sure he meant it, but I'm going to give it to him anyway. I think it's deliberate. Arthur, you can have what you want.
Yeah, it was just, I mean, we were saying that to end the game with Issa Diop, Craig Dawson as your centre halves, you know, and Arthur Masuaku on the pitch. If you'd have put money on that, you'd be a rich man tonight, right?
I think if you'd have put money on that tonight, I think it's like pinkish road gallery of West Ham players, isn't it? All lining up, all being absolutely majestic towards the end there. He must be seething somewhere if he's not already drunk.
Let's have a quick chat, gents, about man of the match. I think I know who you're both going to say. I'll start with Noam first. What do you reckon?
Jared Bowen. I thought he was exceptional today. There were. I mean, I say 11 players, but whichever 11 we had on the pitch, everyone put in a shift. But I saying it all the way through the game how well he was doing, and he hassled, he harried. He could have had a hat trick, really. I mean, there was the one where he stretched, didn't quite get onto it. Yes. There was another. The goal he scored. There was the other one where he got goal side and tried to curl it into the top corner when perhaps Ben Rama might have been the better option there. But yeah, I thought he had a fine game. That's okay. I need my selection.
All right, Bowen for no. Rio, you going for Bowen or someone else?
I'm going to go for Bowen just above Declan Rice. So I thought, in terms of skill and technique, was the best player on the pitch. But in terms of work rate, effort, desire, hunger, Jared Bowen has put what is much kind of lauded as a world-class club side in Chelsea it's a shame. He worked their socks off. He didn't let them rest for 1 minute. It wasn't the greatest first half as a team from us, but he led by example in the first half. In the second, he stepped up a gear, and it made the world of difference. It was absolutely amazing today. And how some of those players who get in the England squad actually achieve that when Jared gets overlooked week in, week out for them by Southgate. It beggars belief to me because, yes, his finishing isn't world class, but what he offers you in terms of, say, work rate, desire, hunger and effort, that makes the world of difference to a lot of people, a lot of teams.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you mentioned his finishing there, but wasn't a bad strike today, was it? He took that beautifully.
When he does hit the net, it's never normally an easy go, is it? It's always a strike with absolute bomb. What made it was more special for me was it went through the defender's legs, perfectly into the corner, in front of our fans there. It was the catalyst to that last period of the game where we just stepped up. Every question was asked by Chelsea. We answered in exquisite fashion and took it to them.
We certainly did. Let's talk briefly now about David Moyes' tactics, rightly being held as a bit of a genius for what he's managed to achieve this season, beating Liverpool, beating Chelsea, beating Manchester United, beating Manchester City, beating Leicester, and also, a few mid-table teams like, I don't know, Newcastle, Tottenham, those sort of teams. But talking specifically about today's game, what did you feel the main difference was, Noam, in that second half? What did Moyes do at half-time to turn that game on its head?
I think, as was being said, I mean, we were pressing well, we were working hard, but it was just lacked a little something, the pressing in the first half, maybe.
Yeah.
And I think, as Bowen came on and said, we just carried on doing more of the same, but with a bit more aggressively. We're a little bit more in their face at all levels. Now, I thought Bowen was doing that pretty much for the 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And I said earlier on, if a ball's played up to him in the air, he doesn't mind how big the defender is that's defending it. If the defender wins it, the defender will have to work to win that ball because he'll jump. And he does win a fair few. I mean, as I say, you can't, when you've got somebody sort of trying that hard and it's got to rub off on your teammates to a certain degree as well, You see him out jumping the defender because he's timing the jump right. You think, And I just think we were a little bit tighter in the press. So,
okay.
In the second half.
All right, Rio. What about yourself? What did you? I mean, you were at the game. You were at the stadium. You managed to probably see a little bit more than we did in terms of how the team was set up and were playing. What did you feel was the real difference in that second period?
I think Noam's pretty much nailed it with that. But I also thought that Manuel Lanzini dropped back about 5, 10, 15 yards deeper.
Yeah.
And he was allowed to kind of dictate the play a lot more. In the first half, he was getting a little bit lost. He's all a bit too congested for me. But him dropping deeper, open up a little more space. He could see passes a little bit more in a lot more areas that he couldn't in the first half because it was just too congested. That opened up, forwarded Declan and Souček to get that 5 or 10 yards further forward. And I think Chelsea struggled to cope with that initially. And it took them about 5, 10 minutes to kind of settle down. But by the time that happened, we had the foothold back in the game.
I've got to point out that Arthur Masuaku was just taken to social media and he's written this. So was it a cross or was it a shot? Question mark, exclamation mark. Hint. I was as surprised as you.
Top man.
So there you go. Clearly, a little
man.
bit fortuitous, shall we say, to see it hit the back of the net. But we're so pleased, Rio, for Arthur Masuaku. I mean, we've given him pelters. I mean, Pinky and I were in, we're simply cracking up at some of his antics on the game against Brighton. So, it's lovely to see him get that, isn't it? And especially in that way, 87th minute against Chelsea, and it's the winning goal, not just any goal.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can't fault his desire and his effort. What you can fault is his awareness and what David Moyes places so much intent on is his technical, his positional awareness and he's defensive now. So to come back and answer a lot of critics in the way they did today, and like you said, against these lot, it just makes one more sweeter, doesn't it? There's a few people in my extended family, there's a few people at work who'll be getting stick beyond belief on Tuesday when I go back in.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Another player, of course, Noam, that's been quite heavily criticised in recent games, Michail Antonio. Not brilliant in the first half, did okay, but came alive, didn't he, in the second half, and had a real influence in pretty much everything West Ham were doing going forward.
Yeah, as I say, not even in the second half, not everything he tried came off, but I think the things he was trying were a little bit more sensible, if you like, and whilst he may not have had an awful lot of luck, I think Moyes may have just said to him, "Look, there's Bowen. See what he's doing. Yeah, a little bit more of that." And Chelsea's defence, make no mistake, no, they've been in a game today, despite all the possession. So,
right.
Sorry, just seeing another message come across there. So you've seen it as well.
Yeah, I was going to come on to that. What, Rio, I don't know if you saw it on from the stands, but when we made the last change, who is it? When Ben Rama came on, he ran over to Declan Rice, gave him a note, which Rice read intently a couple of times, then stuffed down his shorts. I think we've lost Rio, so I'll throw this one over to Noam. Any guesses? What did it say on that note?
I'm guessing it said words to the effect. It wasn't a long piece of paper, but it probably said to the effect, back three. Let's go to a back three. So and because we were watching for that, weren't we? And when the camera pulled back, once he'd read it and looked up and pointed back, let's have 3 and 2. So that's what it was, because he definitely dropped back once he got the note. Yeah. And I guess another player. I know his English isn't that good, but I guess if he'd been bringing on another player, he'd have just told him, because Ben Rama apparently he just about gets by, I think, with the language. So I think it needed a note. Unless you could get the guy on the scoreboard and put it up there, I suppose.
It might have given the game away slightly, that one, I guess. Yeah. But Declan Rice had another good. Shall we have a look at the forums? No, this could be fun. Let's have a bit. Are you ready to go? Or do you want me to do Chelsea first?
Yeah, do Chelsea first, because
all right.
What's my laptop doing?
Let's have a look then. I mean, as you'll probably not be surprised to hear, the Chelsea fans are going apoplectic after what they've seen this afternoon, leading 2-1 against West Ham at half-time, coming away with nothing. Bordeaux Blue gets us rolling by saying it was absolute crap, not good enough. Alonso is so far behind what Chilwell was offering. Jorginho and Mendy horrid. Lukaku totally see-through. What a poor run of performances we're on. Must be terrible sitting top of the Premier League and through to the last 16 of the Champions League. Awful. Loz, this is sort of encapsulates what I've been saying about this particular forum and Chelsea fans. Loz says, this is a perfect example of why we aren't genuine title contenders. We can't cope with Conte for too long, being out for too long, and none of our forward players are ruthless enough. You don't expect Odoi, Ziyech, Pulisic, Havertz or Lukaku to score. All of them are shot shy and predictable. Monkworth saying that, talking about Chelsea's goalkeeper, says Mendy is just being nice to his fellow keeper. Now Kepa can get a game. Dino suggesting that the title challenge is over. The only way we can get back to the top of the table is if City and Liverpool collapse together. It's now crisis mode for us to not let the wheels fall off, or it's bye-bye Tuchel. I'm not sure how many over-the-top cliches we can, shoehorn into one post, but Dino's done an awfully good job of doing it within the space of 2 lines there. Sindre says they countered, otherwise they were 11 men inside their own half, like the pathetic side they are. That one's going straight in the opposition view on Monday. We dominated them again and gifted them 2 goals, both mainly down to Mendy. Unfortunately, Phil H930 says pathetic. We are so fragile right now. Zita, we've had our few games where we played really well. Now I guess we'll just be playing again for a while. The last few games have been awful. Coco saying goal 1, a stupid error from Mendy not clearing the ball. Goal 2, a shot aimed straight at Christensen's legs, somehow miraculously goes through them. Goal 3, an obvious cross, spoons up off his boot and freakishly turns into a goal. Masuaku doesn't disagree. Conclusion, luck is not with us. Injury crisis confirms our luck has vanished. SFL 82 saying everyone's going on like West Ham have played a perfect tactical masterpiece. A penalty and a cross that went in. Relax. The best and the worst there from the Chelsea forum. Of course, we will be bringing you lots more on tomorrow morning in the opposition view. Noam's been keeping an eye on the KUMB.com forum match thread. I bet there's a lot of happy hammers out there today, Noam.
Yeah. I'd just like to point out that last one. Then if they're going, penalty and a miss-hit cross, well, yeah, what about a goal scored when the marking player is 20 yards up the pitch with a dodgy hamstring?
Yeah.
That's a bit fluky, isn't it? So it's all right for them, though. I mean, when we lose, we're miserable for a whole week because, we're stuck with West Ham. They can just go and support whoever they supported before 2003 and be done with it if they're having a bad day. Lots of very happy faces, as you imagine, on the forum. Just sort of... this first one, which is the one that made me laugh earlier on, and I'll say it now before I move on to later comments. Is it time already to suggest about the positioning of a certain blue flag? From Venice Hammer there. So I think the answer to that, Venice Hammer, is yes. Moving on. Unusual name of Turtle Charity Racer. Hello, Turtle, if I'm maybe so informal. Lanzini moving to a deeper midfield role changed the way for West Ham, allowed us to keep possession. I think he should play there every week. Similar to what Rio was saying before his batteries went there, unfortunately. Yep. Where was the other one that made me laugh a minute ago? I'll find it. There was one that just had 3 words in it, and there we go. Cockney Hammer's very pleased, proud of them all. Thank you, David Moyes and the boys. And much as we were saying about the pelters he's got, WHU 1994. I'll never speak a bad word against Masuaku again. So, well, hold you to that.
Yeah.
I just like loving some of the Arthur Gold things. What a goal. Gave him the eyebrows and bent it into the top left-hand corner.
Yeah,
what a bitch.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, it's just a lot of very happy people. Long post here, but I think I'll repeat it anyway.
Okay.
From my eyesight's going. Wilco 1304. My apologies, Mr. Moyes. I was concerned that we were too much about what they were doing, but we matched up really well and then counterpunched. Antonio grew into it after being a bit sloppy. Bowen was incredible. Lanzini good. The whole defence brilliant. Credit to Masuaku. Luckiest goal he could score, but thought he defended well and also helped balance the side. Johnson just doesn't give that balance. Diop, excellent too. Maybe could have been better for the second, but showed why you play him because we had so much more functional play on that left-hand side because he's comfortable that side. It's going to be him and Dawson for at least a couple of weeks unless he does deck in there like how he ended. Bowen man of the match, finishing much better from inside right too. I think that's the perfect summing up of the game for me. Excellent post there, Mr. Wilco, in my opinion, for what it's worth.
And I should of course stress, Noam, that if you want to hear more from Wilco, you can do so on the new KUMB podcast, which Wilco hosts.
That's that Wilco. Sorry, I did. Yeah,
indeed. Yeah.
Sorry.
Our fellow team member. You've probably heard of him.
Yeah. Sorry, Chris.
Chris, of course.
Rubbish. Terrible post. Terrible. Forget everything I said. Sorry, mate. Sorry. Cheers.
Yeah, Wilco, of course, our the host of the KUMB podcast, which you can find the the new episodes of on kumb.com. If you look under the main menu and under the KUMB drop down, you will see KUMB podcast link there. 7 episodes already from Wilco and West Ham WHU Analytics, Callum and Jack Elderton as well. Great trio. The new breed, you could call them, the youngsters going through and telling us all about football. Some brilliant, seriously though, but some brilliant statistical analysis from the trio, which is an absolute must listen to. You can also see it on YouTube. If you look on this very YouTube channel, KUMB's YouTube channel, you can find all the podcasts on there. As I say, lots of expert analysis. No, and we're going to wrap up just about there because I've got lots of work to go and do now. I've got to go and write about a certain game that West Ham have just won.
I've got to change this Galahad T-shirt, by the way, on the grounds that I'm really not 100% well, and I'm drowning in sweat. It's soaking, so I've got to go and change this shirt, and it's going straight in the wash.
Before we do that, though, before Noam goes and changes his T-shirt, and before we let him do that, we are going to take our customary look ahead to the next game. We're going to change it slightly. We're going to look ahead to the next 2 games because, as we said, they're coming thick and fast at the moment in December. We face Dinamo Zagreb on Thursday night, the London Olympic Stadium, West Ham's final Europa League fixture in Group G, and then, of course, we're up to Burnley on the 12th, on Sunday, next Sunday afternoon, for our next Premier League outing. 2 games within space of 72 hours. Once again, no, at least we don't have to travel in Europe this year, but then that trip up to the northwest. Firstly, Thursday, what sort of side do you see David Moyes putting out? Do you think he's going to rest as many as possible and bring some of the youngsters in?
Yeah, it's basically job done, isn't it? And so you're quite justified in doing that. I can't remember what the state of the rest of the group is at the moment, so it may not please some of the other teams, but we're not here for their benefit. They want to scrap around for the last 32, and the Thursday night Isthmian League, let them do it. A few players have earned a night off, I think, and so I would I'd expect to see a partly out of necessity, because obviously we lost Zuma and Johnson with injuries today. So
so
you'd
assume that it'll be. Do you think it'll be Diop and Dawson, or do you think even someone like Baptiste or Elise might even come into the team and start?
Yeah, potentially. I think they've been on benches, haven't they, in Europe?
Yeah.
So I think obviously they'll have a look at these players obviously over the next day or 2 in training, and although we think about it, I mean, until Ogbonna went out, I mean, Dawson's had a few games, right? But Diop's not had an awful lot of football, so maybe he'll go with them. But I wouldn't be upset if he didn't. Let's put it that way.
All right.
Nobody can say we're not taking it seriously. So because as I say, we've done the job.
Yeah.
We're a game to spare, and that's what that sort of thing does for you. You get the job done early, then you can do what you like in the last game, and I'd be quite happy with that. So.
Any additional players likely to be rested? Do you think Antonio, maybe Jared Bowen, players like that, Declan Rice, Souček, maybe they've not had much of a rest either?
Yeah, Declan Rice has generally been missing the European games, hasn't he? And Souček, Souček's rest would be, but again, you do get players who genuinely would take umbrage at missing any games. And I get a feeling that Souček, tired though he may be, isn't mentally tired. In his head, he's not tired, sort of thing, and would probably like to play every game. But no, this is an ideal point at which to rest him. And Antonio is generally hasn't been considered for European games, even when there's potentially something on them. So I wouldn't expect to see him on Thursday night.
All right.
Maybe they'll give more of a run out to young Sonny Palmer, who nearly had that dream debut the other week.
Yeah. Or Sonny
Yeah.
Perkins, even.
Sonny Perkins. What Sonny Palmer? I was thinking of Scotty Palmer. That's right. That's Scotty Parker. Parker
Okay.
Perkins. Look, I'm not well. Leave me alone.
Anyway, I think we're agreed that we expect to see a lot of changes on Thursday night against Zagreb. West Ham, of course, as Noman rightly pointed out there, have already won the group, already through to the last 16. So it's a dead rubber in that sense for the Hammers. Not so for Zagreb, of course, who've still got plenty to play for. Sunday, Burnley. Bit of a strange one for us over the years, Turf Moor. We've had a few decent results, but we've sort of, fallen foul to Sean Dyche's tactics at times. Chris Wood, of course, if he's fit, he's up there with the very worst of the West Ham's nemesis over the years. Lukaku won today, of course, didn't manage to do it. But how do you see that one going? Burnley haven't done particularly well, but they're not a bad side, and they've got that the new lad whose name escapes me now, who they brought in the summer. Absolutely fantastic player. While you're discussing your thoughts, I'll find his name anyway.
Name, yeah, please, because I can't remember it. I know you mean that. I think that's one we'll win because, apart from anything else, I don't think you can underestimate the value of today's win in getting that confidence back.
Yeah.
There was just we didn't play well against Brighton, and it was almost a case of, I think if we'd lost this one, that little doubt that would have crept in, like usually when we played Liverpool, for example, can we do this? I'm not sure we can do this. Whereas we knew we could do it against Liverpool. I always thought we could do it today. I said so right at the start. I'd just like to remind everyone. And but that'll put that swagger back in, that almost arrogance, that you need to keep winning. So I think we'll win up at Burnley. I'm still having nightmares about the time we went up there a year or two ago, and it was Roberto.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Oh, So
what a day! What a day!
But,
so you fancy 3 points? Then you think we're going to be bouncing, bounce back to with a win?
I mean,
away
if
from
you look at Burnley the last couple of seasons, certainly last season, they finished just outside the bottom three. I'm not sure it was fourth or fifth from bottom, somewhere around that area.
Yeah.
And they kind of benefited from the fact that last season, Sheffield United, West Brom, and who else went down? Fulham, was it last season? Yeah, there it was. The bottom three was so far adrift from anybody else that kind of the relegation spots were almost finished in. they were almost finished in July, wasn't it? Yeah. But they were so far off it that they didn't have to be any good last season, and I think there's a little bit of that creeping in this season. They're currently drawing 0-0 with Newcastle, in case anybody's still watching us. But so I think when we went up there, and I'm talking like going up there and playing against Roberto, playing with Roberto, I'm saying against Roberto because he was almost an extra player for the opposition. We didn't have that. We didn't have that swagger. We were. If you've not got confidence in your goalkeeper right at the start, you're not playing well from the start, really, because and boy did he. I mean, Mendy thought he had a nightmare today. Show him the video of that game, and yes. Roberto, hold my beer.
Dreadful performance. The guy we're thinking of, Maxwell Cornet. Thanks
to
Dan Robinson, summer signing.
I was most disappointed when he didn't have the number 99 shirt.
Yes, very good. Signed from Lyon in the summer, 12.85 million. And actually, he was a player that West Ham were linked with, of course, but has hit the ground running for Burnley. Scored 5 goals in his last 8 games. So he's on fire. Definitely a player we'll have to watch. And as I said, of course, Chris Wood, if he's fit and firing. One player that always seems to do really well against West Ham. But I think that's about it. I think we've covered just about everything, haven't we, today?
I think so.
Good stuff.
Toast didn't come back up.
Well, let's go to final thoughts. final word. West Ham beat Chelsea. West Ham 3, Chelsea 2.
Fortunate winner. Yeah, I will admit that. But who cares? The winner itself was fortunate. The victory wasn't. That's the way to put it, I think. That sounded quite erudite for me, didn't it? I must be ill.
Perfect. That's it from us this afternoon. My thanks to Noam for joining me throughout the game. Also for Rio for briefly popping the Pink Palomo. Did try and get in, but unfortunately, we can get him from Zagreb. We can get him from Glasgow. We can get him from Manchester. We can't get him from the London Olympic Stadium because of the dreadful comms they've got there. But there you go.
That is a shame because I wanted his views on Diop's game, but never mind.
Yeah, we'll save that one for next week. But we will be back with you on Thursday night, isn't it, for West Ham United versus Dinamo Zagreb, the final Europa League group game. And then, of course, as we were just talking about, it's off to Burnley next weekend. But as for now, West Ham United have beaten Chelsea. I don't know why any of us are surprised, really. We've completed the set now. Liverpool, Chelsea, Manchester United, Manchester City, Leicester, Tottenham, all put to the sword by West Ham already this season. It's not even Christmas. Wonderful stuff. West Ham 4th in the Premier League once, or still 4th in the Premier League. 5 points clear now of Arsenal in 5th. So that's where we're going to end the weekend at worst. It's been a fantastic, wonderful, brilliant, superb, enthralling, captivating afternoon. How many points? 33, I think, wasn't 33. It? Sorry, 27. 27. Chelsea have got 33.
Yeah, so
we're behind.
13 more to get.
Yes, we're nearly there. Nearly there. Safety nearly assured. Brilliant. Thanks to all of you joining us on the live stream. As always, thanks for your comments. We love reading them out and getting you involved throughout the game. And as per Dan's comment just recently, helping us out when we need some information provided. Have a wonderful afternoon, Hammers. Have a wonderful weekend and enjoy going back to work on Monday morning and winding up all those Chelsea fans. We'll see you very soon. Until then, come on, you Irons.
Cheers all. Bye, everyone.